What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 87, being recorded on October, 7th?
Yes, it is.
2020, which brings us to 23 days away from Mandalorian Season 2.
Woo.
We are still in this line, and it's heating up. It's heating up more than the debates. But I'm like, screw the debates. We're here to talk Star Wars.
Damn
so
straight.
I hope everybody's...
So there's a Mandalorian episode, season 2 coming up?
Yes, there is.
Hadn't heard a damn thing.
You don't listen.
Didn't even know.
You never do. You never learn.
No. Damn thing.
Welcome everybody in the chat room. Welcome everybody that's coming again, fresh off the debates and ready to talk some real life stuff here. No more of this earthly,
Let's talk the important stuff.
Yeah, let's get out of that realm and into our realm, right? So, with that, I am your host Darth Moocher. I'm joined with Scott Solo.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
I got Darth Dad 77 with me.
Yo.
We've got Bootleg Joe.
Hey, fellas.
Wow, you're sounding and looking good over there, Joey.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you. I took a bath.
We got Ernie
Oh,
the
thank
Fallen Fett. We got Ernie the Fallen Fett with us.
Hey guys, what's up?
And special guests, as we're continuing our tradition of bringing guests onto the show, we have Tommy, which is Star Wars Savage. What's up, man?
Greetings.
Awesome. We've been we've known Tommy for a while now, since basically the beginning of our show, or we're into it. We've been conversing with you a lot, and we've met up in real life at Disney at Batu, which was fun. I can't wait to go back to that live.
Yep, same.
So you had a couple Star Wars podcasts that you were doing, right? So right now you have the Broaxium podcast.
Yeah, that one's it's not called Bro Action, it's called Shooting the Poodoo.
Okay.
And yeah, that one's gonna be with Chris Ryans and Dan Miller from Bro Axiom. Yeah.
Oh, okay, from Broaxium. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Bro Axiom too. I don't know why I keep saying acting like I'm not.
No problem. But yeah, so you're heavily into the expanded universe and Legends and
Right.
Old Republic, which I am like in the Old Republic realm myself. So kind of gravitate to all of your posts and everything. I love like your compare and contrast to like there's certain Sith lords or certain Jedi or just in that realm. Like we've always been talking about here, like let's get out of the sequel era of our heroes and let's go back, man. Like come on, Disney, let's do this.
Let's fire up the DeLorean. Let's drive 88 miles an hour and go back in time.
So like you're the perfect guest to have on when we want to discuss that kind of stuff, in which we have a couple topics that we want to bring up. So again, you're the guy to have on the show for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So with that, guys, let's get into the Star Wars news, right? Again, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or comments of anything that happened in the last 2 weeks, get them in there and we'll converse. So I know the one big thing in the collecting world happened over the past 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. HasLabs dropped another bombshell on us, called the Razor Crest, which we all called it, right? We all kind of said like it's either the Razor Crest or Tantive V4 or some sort of vintage ship.
Right.
I said from day one, or from I was at Scott's toy room one day, and I said if the HasLabs does a Razor Crest, I am backing it. That'll be my first vintage collection ever, just because I don't think I'm going to ever get another Razor Crest, or I won't buy the cheap version when the cheap version comes out, because I think there will be one, by the way.
Maybe. That's what everybody was saying about the barge, and lo and behold, the barge hasn't shown up at retail yet.
Well, I don't think there could be a cheap version of the barge, really. I mean, but the Razor Crest there is going to. I think there's going to be. Like the
I got
Falcon,
my barge
right?
at D's for $20.
Right.
Well, I backed the Razor Crest.
I backed the Razor Crest. I know Mando Mike, he backed the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
So
anybody else here back it, or anybody else going to back it, or
My mom said
Where
no.
would I put it?
I don't know, Chris. That's what.
Whoa. Ernie just raised his hand.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I complained about the Razor Claw.
Okay.
Yeah. Not back in that.
So,
Nope.
Ernie.
Oh, wait, Ernie, yeah.
Yeah.
You had a lot to say about the barge. What
Yeah,
you got
what
on
did-
the Razor
You
Crest?
said that you want. I mean, I know that you're like in the Black Series, but here's the thing about the Black Series, right? We have the Snow Speeder that's out now, and no one's buying it.
Nope.
Like, why would they do any Black Series vehicles at this point? You know what I mean? Like,
I got one. What do you mean no one's buying it?
because they're on Amazon for like $100 now. It's like No
Or
one's
that
buying.
TIE-
it.
or that
That's just
TIE Fighter,
$20 off.
Yeah,
The
but
TIE Fighter was a huge one.
that's
I
cheap.
like the
It's a
snow
big
speeder.
miss.
The snow speeder's beautiful.
Yeah.
We just need more stuff. I mean, it's fine that a vintage one that's cool and everything, and I like it. It is going to be a very nice piece
Mhm.
to look at and everything, but
You can come
I
over
just-
anytime.
I can't back it. I'm just going to be upset if at the end of season 2 of
When it
Mando
blows up.
that Boba takes it over.
Yeah. Hey, but it's,
He's like, here, take this, and I'm gonna be like, no.
but what doesn't matter? It's still the Razor Crest if Boba takes it over. But again, then
Then
you
you'll
should buy
really
it.
be upset.
But he would
'cause-
want. That's what he's saying. He would want it because now it's Boba Fett ship.
Yeah, I get you.
Right. Then I would need it.
Here's my thing, and I'll open it up to everybody else. Is why? Like I haven't taken over the conversation anyway, but I backed it for main reason is that it looks like a model, like it's gonna be a model. It's a static piece for me. I love the ship, I love what it represents, I love the show, and I'm like, if I'm gonna be at any kind of vehicle from Star Wars in that line, because again, Black Series I think lacks that support when it comes to bigger pieces and bigger vehicles. The price tag is just too much, and they're just too big. The vehicle's too big. Not that I don't want it, but anyway, I think the Razor Crest is perfect for a showpiece somewhere in the Star Wars room or some. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's
I got
going
like
to have
absolutely no room in my room for that. Or else I would have got it.
You haven't been to my toy room yet. I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out where that thing's going to go, but
Yeah.
it will go in there. My wife posed this challenge to me once before, and that was, you can have a G.I. Joe USS flag if you can figure out a way to put it in your toy room.
Where are you going with that
So-
sledgehammer?
I found a way to put it in my toy room. So never count me out. I can
Yeah.
always find a way.
He has
Oh.
things hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. I'm,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tommy, do you collect these figures, or do you have no interest in this line at all, or?
I have a few pops. I have a few Black Series. I don't really have like a collection per se. The only thing that I do collect, well, digital anyway, is the EU books, which I think is complete. But I used to have the physical library, the entire physical library of the entire EU books, comics, visual dictionaries, everything.
Right.
Once I started to realize, hey, I was going to get married. This was when I was much younger.
Right.
I was like, there's going to be no room for this once I combine my stuff with yours. So I donated my entire library to the children's hospital.
Oh, there
Very
you go.
cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
cool.
That's funny. I donated mine just for the regular library at the same time too. No, I'm saying for real, seriously.
I meant like
I had 'em in
adults
high
need it
sc-
too. So.
No, in high school I did, and the same thing was when I had them all. It was the same as starting figures wise, like having to get rid of something.
Yeah.
So I did the same. So it's hilarious out there because I don't know why I was that one. You know when you have to put your name at the front of the book when you first open it.
Right.
Yeah, my signature is out there in the book somewhere of that.
Yeah, there's a few books out there that should have my little doodles in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
That's funny. Just as important as the collectibles in Star Wars world is the literature. So I respect that. Like, getting the physical copy of something, a complete set, especially like the old EU stuff.
Yeah. But I definitely want to build up like my figure collection once I get into a position where I have enough room for it.
Yeah. I tend to buy first, think later.
Yeah, that's me.
Same, obviously.
And I live by myself. All right, so I'm single. I have room, and I still,
You still question it.
I still question
Did
it.
you hear that,
But
ladies? Did you hear that? He threw it out there. He's single. He's ready to mingle.
yeah,
That's right.
I didn't
Chris
say I
beat
was
me
ready
too.
to mingle.
I was ready too.
Yeah,
He's ready for a Mrs. Moocher.
yeah,
He's
right.
he's got a whole set of 6 inches just waiting for you.
Ah.
Oh,
More. That's plenty. That's more than you need. I think.
I see where you went with that.
From what I hear, that's more than what you need. So, I'm going by that. I'm sticking by it. But okay, so the Razor Crest, and it was backed in 24 hours, and it hit the 10,000 backer today, which brings the second tier, which the first tier was adding an escape pod to the top of it. Second tier is a one-of-a-kind vintage, the child with the what's it called? Bassinet? What is that thing? So,
I don't know what they call it. The Prem. There you go.
okay.
Prem.
So with that, it's going to be on a vintage carded figure. There's no talks on any other stretch goals, but maybe they're going to be. I mean, since they've hit the 10,000, they still have like 30 some days left.
This Friday is a Fan Force Friday, all dedicated to the HasLab project. So I have a feeling that this Friday will be when they announce the next stretch goal.
Also, they do have a physical model to show too.
Yes,
I heard that. So it's not a digital picture anymore. So
right,
interesting. I'm excited. Again, my first HasLab backing thing to do it, and I'm excited for it. No regrets. No regrets.
It was Bro hoping for a third one, saying the carbonite.
Yes.
Right. Getting the bounties in carbonite would be an awesome.
That would be amazing.
I think that should be included. I mean, they've been.
I said that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
They
be awesome.
went
That'd be bad.
extra miles in the detail on the interior of this thing. So why not? Like.
Oh, dude, it has a sit and suck in there.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Michael Horlings and I have a group that's the We Back the Razor Crest group, and everybody in there for the last 2 weeks has been saying it's got to be the carbonite blocks. It's got to be the.
It
carbonite
makes sense,
blocks.
right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Absolutely.
Probably at what, 12,000, 13,000.
Yeah, they've been going in 2,000 increments, so I could see 12,000.
Yeah.
But they,
It slowed down. It did slow down. You know, it had a huge
not today.
surge. Yeah,
not today.
It
It
went like
jumped
nuts,
today.
so.
Yeah.
Especially everybody gets if they announce a stimulus check. I'm sure that's gonna be. I know, right? That's the priorities, but also in the last 2 weeks, you know, Hasbro just pretty much just said, here's a million figures for you for holidays, and it is the holiday season, and here's everything. But so now I've got pre-orders all the way to next June. You know what I mean? So, yes, they gave us repaints. Yes, they gave us repackaging, but it also gave us new figures too, which was very appreciative. Still in the realm of current characters, and we are getting a Jar Jar, which is cool. I mean, I consider him an alien and a main character, so maybe a step in the right direction to get those kind of characters. I mean, Jar Jar is a no-brainer for me. You know, to get that out. But we still want aliens. I still want Twi'leks. I still want, you know, a diverse selection of Star Wars characters to be.
I still want more officers and
yeah,
bad
so
guys.
they
That's
started that trend, right? Like Piet and they still need Oswald. They still need all. I mean, that would be the council, right? That council table with all them.
Yularen.
That's the ticket.
Yularen right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, this to me. Here's the thing. Again, and I've said this before. You know, they're not going to just kind of like blow it all in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. This is a ongoing project. They probably want to stretch this out to 20 years, of course. And I'm sure we're going to get all of them. We just, you know, that's what toys are. That's what toy collecting is. Otherwise, they don't have a business. So I appreciate what we got. Also, I don't have a picture of it, but I'm sure everybody can go to it. The holiday figures that were the repaints holiday figures. I got every single one of them. I don't care.
I was going to, but it was like right after they announced the Razor Crest. So I'm like, no, I got to pick and choose my battles. So, and everybody right now is screaming online about how dare they repaint these things to be holiday figures where they've done holiday, especially like Disneyland. They've done holiday figures for the last 10 years.
It, man.
I have a Jawa and the R2D2 and C-3PO, and I've got the Yoda. Those are all holiday figures from back in Lucasfilm, you know, George Lucasfilm days.
Yeah.
It's not like this is setting some kind of precedent.
No,
so
it's awesome. And again, exclusives. That's the key word. Those are exclusive. That's exactly how exclusives should be. Shouldn't be a brand new character. It should be these. Something that are one-shots, repaints, repackage, whatever it is. I think it's great. I hope Hasbro I hope they didn't do this by mistake and say, hey, we're going to put this and everybody has their exclusive, and then next year they'll revert back to, you know, their same old tactics by giving Target and Walmart everything. And
that's what they all should do, like the carbonized things. Like for Funko, the Chrome Pops or the Flocked. Make those all exclusives, but put all the characters out to everything. That's what sucks is you can't be complete if you can't get into the Funko lottery to get a piece.
Right. And I wanted to ask Ernie, because I've been to his house and I know you and Corinne, man, you guys really go out, deck it out, Star Wars, Christmas time, Halloween time, everything. And this being Star Wars decoration, are you getting these figs?
I couldn't get in a pre-order if I see them up at store.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about them.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, are you going to get them because they're variants and you have to because you're a have to get them all, or are you getting because they're Christmas?
No, I mentioned this before that they've always been done. I still have my R2 and C-3PO. I still have the Jawa and the Yoda and like that. It's been an ongoing thing. It's not new. So
yeah,
you get to see a lot of who I like always to call new collectors, the ones who are like, why are you doing this and everything? And it's been done for years.
Yeah.
So no, I'm excited about it. And yeah, I'm just going to have to hunt them down. Yeah. I couldn't get in any of the pre-orders or anything, but
that came out of left field.
I'm not excited about it. I am not getting them, but I don't hate them.
Right.
How about that?
But you're like, hey, that's cool, right?
It's cool. Go for it.
Yeah.
Have at it. I'm not mad at the company for doing a repaint on it because you probably got a bunch of molds or once they're made, you might as well use it.
Especially
right?
troopers,
just,
easy.
Right. Yeah. I really some people would probably like to army build and just put those out in mass. I'm assuming that would be a problem for some people, but
I'd like to get my hands on the Santa Claus one.
That's what I'm looking for.
The range trooper.
That's the only one because of Target.
That's freaking Target.
Because of Target, they. I just don't think. I don't think it's bots or anything. I think they just don't put anything else out until the day of. But whatever.
You can pre-order it until the cows come home. But I mean, if you show up the day of, they're just going to put your pre-order out on the shelf like they did with Hondo.
That too. I mean, the pre-orders on Target mean nothing. But everybody else, the Amazon, GameStop, Walmart, and Best Buy got them all right then and there. So big shout out to Dario on Toy Amigos, man. He really hooked it up, sending those links because every time I was like actually looking and refreshing the Toy Amigos page when that Best Buy one was coming up, and he nailed it. I was like, gotta get it. Spent way too much money this past week, so and I don't care. I have no one to answer to.
I do.
We get a Dark Ray, right? Double Saber, Dark Ray, Dark Vision Ray. That was shocking to me that we're getting that. I thought they were really not going to do any sequel characters anymore. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Our
first one.
Yeah.
Given enough time, they'll do every figure.
I hope so.
Every character. But I mean, just look at what they did 3 3/4 inch. It took 20 years to get a Tarkin figure, but eventually we got a Tarkin figure. Yeah. In 20 years, we will have every figure we've ever wanted in mass multiple times over to the point where we'd be like, okay, we need something new, guys.
Right.
So,
Yeah. That was
speaking of something new, Diamond Select has also thrown themselves
they got in the
mix. Game. And Boba Fett being the first one, I need that.
Okay.
So
my argument about Diamond Select is, of course, I've seen the package. I'd like to see it in hand, right? Every Diamond Select toy that I have a very hard time for them really standing. And if you get them to stand, you can't even walk by them without them because their ankles joints are so. Seriously, I don't know if I'm going to jump on that. Maybe
I have the same issue with these that I do with the McFarlane figures, and that is a completely new scale that doesn't fit what I already have. And they're coming out with a brand new Boba Fett, Return of the Jedi Boba Fett figure, which is killer.
Yeah.
There's no reason for this.
Right.
So I don't need it. I understand Ernie though, because I mean, Boba Fett's his guy. So of course.
But I'm also glad to see somebody else in the mix now to see what they're going to bring.
Yeah.
Diamond Select has very good looking stuff. Adam's a part of our show and his whole team is behind all of that, from painting to sculpting to everything. So it's very nice what they put together, but then it is different what you have in hand. So seeing that, it's going to be nice. I like the artwork on the sides of the boxes. It's a great different, plus it's 7-inch. So it is way out of the realm of Black Series. I mean, it's a whole different size and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just liking now that we don't have to choose either that or the Disney Elite.
Competition breeds better product. So
like the SHF stuff right now that's out. I mean, the Beskar Mando just got released, and everybody's in love with that one. I don't know if you ended up pre-ordering that one or not.
I did not,
but that hit, and so far a lot of people are really loving that one. That this is like the Mando to get.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that one either, but.
Here's the thing, though. You're right. Where more people in the mix, the more options you have. But at this point, Hasbro, they're not going to this Diamond Select. It's not going to take any of Hasbro's market share. It's not. They're not competing with anybody else. They can't compete with SH Figure Arts because Figure Arts, I mean, they're $80, $100 figures.
Yeah.
The Hasbro is still pumping out a pretty damn good quality figure for $20. That this is just something completely different. I don't think it's going to compete at all.
At $15 though, I think you'll get the basics, right? Like I'm pretty sure I'll buy a Vader if they come out with a Vader. because I buy just like that hyperreal. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be buying that Vader hyperreal one day, because I like the Vader figures, So and Boba
Could be
Fett.
next.
So it depends. I guess we'll have to see on Diamond Select.
Diamond Select, isn't that just at the Disney parks? I mean, isn't it exclusive anyway?
No. Diamond Select is a whole
comic book stores.
Correct.
But
right,
what is this line?
stores.
Is this line specific or?
Yes, this will be.
Okay.
That's the loophole because it's here. See, SH Figure Arts and everything is import.
Right.
So that's why more expensive and the quality figures that they do, and nobody else can. That's what I'm saying. To throw this in the mix without Disney Elite or anything Disney based. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's somebody else in Hasbro because here in the States now they can. So that's what Diamond Select is. It's the big package ones, Chris, that you see in the comic shops. They have the big artwork on the side all the time and everything.
Okay.
Usually
Marvel
comes up,
stuff.
build a
They
something.
have Marvel Select, like that.
Gotcha.
I was at Downtown Disney yesterday. They did not have them in stock, nor did they have.
This was in
new
Florida.
Mando.
So the Marvel Select, does that really compete with the Marvel Legends at all?
Yes.
They're completely separate. I mean,
No, it's separate,
It's
but
separate.
they do compete with each other
Yeah.
because of the characters that they bring out. They're coming out with a Hulk in February that is going to be the standalone Hulk to have. It has more articulation. The face sculpt is better on this one. It comes with a different head swap compared to all the Hulks that Hasbro has released with Marvel Legends. This one's going to be a definite runner to be your ultimate Hulk.
I
But
guess my
Diamond
question
Select-
is it really a competition or do people just
No.
buy both?
No, Diamond Select only puts
People buy
out,
both.
say, maybe 12 figures a year, whereas Hasbro will put out, 120 figures in a year if they wanted
Correct.
to. It's
Right.
not a competition.
Gotcha.
I
I mean, it is, but it's not like they're
Right.
going to scare them. Is what I'm
it's a little refreshing
Yeah.
to
No,
see
nothing
something like
at
that.
all
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
No.
I'm not like gotta
It's
have every single
it's
one.
a
but-
great alternative choice to pick something up.
Yeah. And they just scale it up an inch to
Just like Figure Arts and Storm Collectibles and anything else that everybody else who's McFarlane stuff,
right.
It's an alternative.
Right. Yeah, so again, my pre-orders are dating all the way to next June, which is awesome.
Mine too, buddy. Mine too.
The two that stood out for me was the Jar Jar and the Dark Ray. Of course we get another clone trooper, the Incinerator Trooper, right? We get like more we got a Mando stuff and
Darth Nihilus is coming out.
Darth Nihilus is coming out as the Gaming Greats, which is a great segue, right? So, what you could check out, you could check out all of the toy reveals and everything that we've posted on our website, especially on Toy Migos and Ernie's podcast too. They break it down every single day. It sounds like so. Check all that stuff out, plus everything that's coming out more. So let's get into the gaming world, right? I'm wearing this shirt for a reason, my X-Wing shirt for a reason, because. Squadrons came out last Friday, and this is a game that's a little bit controversial, and I'll tell you why in a second. But it's a game that I've been waiting for a long time because I like these kind of games. I miss the days of TIE Fighter versus X-Wing, or X-Wing back in the day on the PC. This is a complete different game. That was a lot of meta stuff. That was a lot of gameplay. This is a straightforward pick your ship, upgrade it at times, and go in there and dogfight 5v5, and they have fleet battles, which are pretty much the same thing. And there's a bit of a learning curve, but I feel the learning curve is a little bit simpler than a lot of other flight simulator games or flight games. The controversial thing is it was $40, therefore this is what we're getting, and there's going to be nothing else added to it. That is per was it Motive who did the game, I think, and EA is like, hey, you're getting a base game. This isn't a live service. This isn't something that we're going to continue a thing. You're on the PS4 servers, therefore you're going to play against each other. They didn't say it was out of the question. They just said at this moment, this is what you got.
Not in the works.
Correct.
So like no more maps or anything. You're gonna play in the same maps over and over.
Correct.
And over.
The same map, same ship, same upgrades. Once you upgrade everything, it's just going to be one of those filler, time
for $40.
For $40,
it's not a horrible deal.
Exactly. Well, look at the controversial things that Battlefront went through, right? Battlefront gave you a base game, it gave you a story. Oh, and this has story mode too, so there is a gameplay through it, and which is kind of interesting. Again, all canon. I consider it all canon. It's all secondary or not even secondary characters. You go way back, real deep. But Battlefront had this big uproar. If you guys remember, EA had the big uproar about Battlefront being like, we're releasing about 20% of the game to you, and through microtransactions and real money, you either play the game for 1 billion hours or you can pay us $1,000 right now to unlock all the stuff. That was a huge controversial thing. All the way it went to Supreme Court about gambling and stuff. So EA and every other sub companies really had to take a step back and be like, look, let's just give them what they got in the 80s, a game. You know, I like that. I'm like cool with it because
I do too.
Let's just do it. If I play it for 3-4 months and it dies, that's fine. You know, I mean, we had fun, right? I'm hoping that they do add some more things, maybe some different upgrades and new maps. Like Chris said, new maps would be awesome. If they want to give us more ships, they didn't say it was out of the question. They just said not in this time frame right now. They're not doing it. The main goal was to give us just a base game. But with that, how are you guys liking the game so far? I know everybody but Ernie. I don't think Ernie has it yet, right?
No, I don't have it.
Okay. Everybody here has played and has it and is in the mix. So how are you guys liking it?
I'm enjoying it. I think I'm still terrible at flying, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm getting the hang of it. And flying an A-wing seems to be my thing. X-wings
There
I'm
you go.
terrible with, but the A-wing is awesome.
You
So,
found it.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, Tommy. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, as soon as I got it, because I know a lot of people, they jump straight into the story, the campaign.
Right.
They wanted to get it right into it. I, however, went straight to multiplayer. I wanted to just get used to basically dogfighting real people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some good games. I also had some bad games, but I think I had more good games than bad. And it ended up playing for, I want to say maybe 2.5 hours, and I got around 100 kills. So
Wow.
that's pretty good.
Oh, me next. Me next.
Chris, how was your experience?
I have 6 kills since Friday. And I haven't just played like one game. I have played a lot.
I was
games.
witness to about 3 of those too in one day. So
my average is 0 kills and 7 deaths. That's my career average. So yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I sat here. I think I texted you guys this the other day. I was sitting here and I was like, you know what? I'm getting my butt kicked. I can't figure out how to do anything. I'm rolling all the time. What can I do?
Yeah.
So I get in the zone and I fly up to the top where nobody's messing around. There's battles going on below me. I'm good there for like 3 or 4 minutes, and I got it. And I'm like, everything I wanted to do. And I started going down through the little platforms, the round platforms. Everything was cool. I understood it all. And then I got missile locked, and I never got that back again because then I got scared and I ran and I crashed, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. So it's stress.
It can be.
And I just can't kill anybody.
You get those little 8-year-old kids, man. They just know what they're doing, man. They just, you know.
No, they're making fun of me. It's horrible.
Joey, we got to play again with each other the other day. That was fun. Not like that.
You know.
Whoa.
PG-13, boys. PG-13.
Yeah, I had a whopping
Later.
10 points.
He did. No, he had.
You got 10 points?
I got 10 points. I don't know how I got them, but I got them. And
I
I've
was
had
witness to that too.
no good games, all bad games.
Yeah.
So I could only play it for like maybe an hour, and then I got to get off it because it starts triggering that vertigo a little bit.
Oh, right. Yeah. You got to be careful on that, especially all the flashing and stuff. So
I can play it for an hour and so it starts triggering my blood pressure.
yeah.
And then I'm like, forget it.
I had kind of like the opposite. I couldn't win a game for the life of me, but I do pretty good as far as like kill to death ratio, all that stuff. Like I can kill people. You know, I'm used to that.
Yeah, I saw
stuff.
you doing it.
Yeah. I'm not
was the
great.
bait.
Yeah, I'm not great at it, but I'm decent enough to hold my own, you know, dogfighting and stuff. And but I couldn't do a win for the life of me. But the other day I got my first win, and I shut the game off. I was like, okay, I did it. Step away. You know, relive this. And
it's funny because Marco started a play party the other night, and I can't. I'm not a PlayStation Network subscriber, so I was able to talk to them while I'm in training mode, and Joey and Marco are doing their thing, and I separate from, you know, and I say, I'm going to go ahead and shut down, and I take off my headphones, I unplug them, and I'm just playing the game, and all of a sudden from my TV, I start hearing Marco cussing at people, and I'm like, whoa. Apparently the play didn't end there, I didn't
end the party chat.
No,
so,
you didn't. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I gotta be careful on that too. But yeah, so we put our gamer tags. I'll put in the description if you guys want to. If anybody wants to hit us up when we're playing. I know it's cross-platform, but we're all on PS4 for the most part. I know Tommy, you're on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, and I think PC players can play it cross-platform also. I think it's all.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out. I think it's fun. I did get a couple requests already, and I haven't got a chance to sit down and create another party, but I've got some listener requests already to join. So I'm excited. I think it's a good time to kind of like just kick back without a lot of stuff that's going on in the world and just kind of blow some stuff up. That's without worrying too much about like upgrading ships and stuff. I think it's kind of good. I think you just go in there.
It's nice to keep it simple and just keep playing around with the same things. Because once you buy it, you have it, and you keep jumping around and finding the right missiles and stuff. It is cool to not get overthinking about it. Because you play like Call of Duty and stuff. And you got all these extra pieces and camos and all these other tasks you have to do. It does get tiresome.
Yeah.
So
now you can level up and you can upgrade, and there are some daily challenges and stuff you do. So there's stuff to work towards. It's not just like a blind game.
Okay. How about that tutorial, the fleet battle tutorial thing?
Yeah.
Did you guys get stuck on that at all? Did you guys do it and then get hosed? Like, it won't let me off of it. I've done everything it says, and I spent a good amount of time. And then I went online to see how do you beat this tutorial, and everybody's cussing that they can't beat it. There's a glitch.
Oh.
Right?
I haven't done it.
I'm like,
I haven't done a tutorial.
Try it, Tommy?
I haven't even tried it yet.
Yeah. I try. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And some guy was on there. He's like, I spent 4 hours. I'm okay. Well, I don't feel too bad.
Wow.
Which tutorial?
The fleet battle. When you go into the multiplayer and training, you go to the bottom. It's the last thing on there. The fleet battle tutorial. If you do that, and you get a prize or whatever kind of camo or whatever. You get whatever you're going to get. But I wanted to do it to get practice in and figure out how to do it. To do a fleet battle. I'm never going to do a fleet battle, by the way.
I did. You could do it against you could do it against AI, so it's all AI, no players.
Yeah, I know.
That's unranked.
They still shoot.
They still kill. Yeah, they're actually pretty hard. Yeah. So I didn't do the tutorial. I jumped right into fleet battle and got my I got destroyed. But hey, that's how you learn. But
I only did it because I saw the challenges coming up. I'm like, let me just do that one since I'm sitting here. Let me practice because I suck.
Yeah. So
It didn't help.
They should have some sort of live service because they have to fix a few things and the bugs. Because I did win an AI fleet battle, I never got credit for it, so they'll have to fix it.
You didn't.
Aw.
No, I swear I won.
Nobody believed it.
My ship of choice is the U-wing on the Rebel side and the TIE fighter, basically a TIE fighter on the Imperial side. So I've gotten.
I really just like to be in the TIE fighter. When I'm a Rebel, I just crash into stuff.
Yeah,
that's it.
It does damage too, so you could totally suicide it. Yeah.
I tried the U-wing, and I felt like I was just swimming in mud.
Yeah, it's a tank.
Yeah, it was a beast.
Yeah. No, I like it. I enjoy it. We need more. We need more Star Wars games. Come on, EA, you're on the right track. Let's open the floodgates. Get a fighter simulator. Let's get our pod racing thing back. Let's get. There's
they brought the
much.
pod racer back a couple months ago. The remaster.
The remaster, but yeah. There's just
I did
so
rip
much.
through that.
Yeah, there's just so much to do that I can spend all my time with in front of the TV.
No, we need a Mortal Kombat style fighting game.
Yeah, like
Masters of the Terrace Cassie. Yeah, that was so much fun back in the day.
Terrace Cassie, it ticks me off that it's not Terra Kasai.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's move off from video games, which is I love. Oh wait, by the way, Tommy, do you play SWTOR, Old Republic?
I used to. I used to be heavily involved in it, and with my older computer, but then that took a crap, and I kind of just forgot all about it. But I have 3 characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still play to this day from launch. For I was in beta till this day. I still play. I have not let my subscription lapse. So.
Oh, nice.
So whenever you get back up and running, man, let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, I've been thinking about it too, because like I'm like maxed out level on all 3, and I'm like they're just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys always make fun of me.
Too good at games.
Yeah, these guys always make fun of me. I tell because they don't understand. So I every Tuesday and Thursday I said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm killing trolls right now, or goblins. I'm killing goblins." I can only talk to them in D&D talk because they just don't understand. So. But anyway, so speak of Old Republic, guys. Let's we brought Tommy on for a reason, right? I mean, Old Republic EU stuff is a big part of Star Wars. Legends is still a big part of Star Wars. Even though it's slowly being brought back into certain sections of sequels and cartoons, and there's always mentions of something, right? I know that let's get into one thing like Chris had brought up was the fleet, the Sith fleet that was in Rise of Skywalker, right? All the names for every starship in the Sith fleet had a name of an old Sith Lord or Darth, right? So what do you guys think, and especially Tommy, what do you think what is that, any kind of like precursor or hints, or what does that mean for the overall scheme of Star Wars? Is that just an Easter egg, which I fear it might be, or is that something like, they're really truly trying to marinate the source material into what they gave us in the sequels?
I think, they've been building up and slowly recanonizing things from Legends that was from the Old Republic,
right.
like here and there, like Clan Ordo. So like Candace Ordo is not Candace Ordo specifically, but Clan Ordo's canon.
Right.
HK units are canon.
Mm-hmm. Love them. Yeah.
Hammerhead cruisers were made canon with
Rogue One. Yeah.
Rogue One. Let's see what else. Mandalorian Wars that's a primary element of the Old Republic that was made canon with Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're being introduced into Mandalorian culture with
big time.
The Mandalorian. So
we had the Sith War mentioned in in the Thrawn book, the last Thrawn book.
Yeah, so it's slowly building up to something. Like they're not just making these things canon for, at least I don't think so. They're not making these canons for no reason.
For just Easter eggs, like just a fleeting mention. That's what I'm hoping that is, like, it's something that where, say fast forward 10 years from now, we have this massive, more movies and more Disney Plus shows, and we'd be like rewatching Rise of Skywalker, and you really can be like, oh my God, it's all there. It's always been there, and with the introduction of a lot of the EU stuff, do you think that they're doing a good job with it, or are they changing it too much? Like, I know that we haven't really gotten the meat of things, but
I don't think they're changing it too much. They're kind of just canonizing these certain elements, but they're not like changing the background of it.
Like their existence is canon now. That's it, but not their story there yet. We're not there.
So like we know that Darth Bane, well, he's been canon since the Clone Wars animated series.
Right.
They just changed his appearance a little bit, but the background is more or less the same.
Which I hate, by the way.
Yeah,
I hate the newer appearance, the Hamill appearance.
Yeah, it's kind of looks like more like a samurai.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping that's just like a burial garb. Like it's not something they wear like in battle or normally. So yeah, I remember you mentioned the Sith fleet. So yeah, there was actually several Sith lords that were made canon. Darth Revan being the biggest name in there.
Right.
Which of course he's also a primary element of the Old Republic. So
yeah,
it's like you made him canon. So
he's your guy.
That's my dude.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
That's right here.
Yeah, Revan is man.
That's my favorite character.
He's going to be the household name if they ever do an Old Republic series or whatever. If you don't do it with Revan and his story and stuff, I mean, you don't have to go through every element of his stories because it kind of gets a little bit like, all right,
it's
you're
complex.
putting this guy through a lot of torture for just kind of reverting back and forth. Just have him go good, have him go bad, and the conflict, and let's do that. But
because he started off as a Jedi, then he fell to the dark side, and then he got redeemed back as a Jedi, and then he kind of went like in the middle, dark side and light side,
and then he split,
and then he split, and it's like whoa,
yeah. This dude went through a lot,
So like from my standpoint, like if they change his backstory, I'm kind of cool with it because it kind of got diluted toward the end of his character arc.
Yeah.
So if they change like the ending of how his story arc ended, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I like it
as long as they keep the core of what he is intact.
Well, like if you bring Revan in and like Tommy said, you bring him in as a Jedi and then the fall and the redemption kind of thing. If you keep that, Darth Vader-esque. I don't know, character arc, I guess, because Revan does do that. He does real redemption, then he falls, and he does redemption again, and then he falls again or comes back because of love of a woman. It's just like all over the place. So simplify.
I think we're to the point where the Old Republic has to be the next set of the saga that they take care of and move and do it multimedia. Like High Republic's one thing, it's publishing, right? That's coming out, but they need to do the films, the animation, and everything tied around the Old Republic era, and give that whole new saga, that whole new time frame that hasn't been dipped into on film. That's got to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Where else could they go, really?
It only makes sense to
far
go
for
back.
future.
Yeah, either like
exactly. I'm with you 100% of the way. I want to see, because I know Tommy's aware of this, but I am not familiar with the Old Republic whatsoever, other than the Tales of the Jedi, that comic series. That was my Exar Kun and Eula Keldroma were my favorites. I loved those stories. So whenever they introduced, whenever they introduced Revan and Bane and all that, I kind of just ignored him. I just didn't play in that realm.
See, and I love the Bane series.
Well, and then Chris introduced me to the Bane series.
Yeah.
Chris introduced me to the Bane series, and I'm like, okay, I was missing out. So I feel like I'm missing out in Darth Revan and his story, but at the same time, I'm not a gamer. I don't do a lot of gaming, and I feel like I'd be missing a massive chunk of his story if I ignored that and went straight to the books.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about living in this time is that you're going to be introduced just as everybody else is. So it's not like where EU and all Legends was already made canon and then they made a movie. Then you have to do all this research. Hopefully, they come around and they do this like we've discussed this too on the show. Like Star Wars sometimes needs a legend character to kind of drive the next story, right? Like in High Republic, they need Yoda. We need
Yoda, the legacy character,
Correct.
to make it an anchor.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, the more we start talking about Revan, and like I said, I'm going to take Revan as story because Revan, I think, is the pinnacle of Old Republic, and it's because of the games. It made him the character favorite, the fan favorite, and he's just got the more Star Wars story. I think he's got the more Jedi redemption kind of thing going on more than any other character, I think, in the Old Republic, in the Force wielding. So we have to get more of that in the face of everybody. You know what I mean? Like in the like I think I'm hoping, and Chris, you can kind of like segue into the High Republic stuff too with Tommy. Is that I'm hoping that the High Republic does do a lot of justice of reverse engineering a lot of things that make us want to look back and go, wait, I want to know a lot more, so the whole everybody that's into Star Wars can get into that state of mind and be like, yeah, we want to know what the High Republic setup, what's going to be the Old Republic setup, and it kind of,
because right now in the comics and books they're mentioning things from the High Republic to get everybody ready for this High Republic piece coming, right? Once we hit High Republic, you want to hear about Bane and how the rules and all this, because even when you go to like the Bane books, what does he talk about in there? And he gets a Revan holocron, right? Talks to him through there and knows about the old wars and they have a whole chapter that runs through Revan's story inside the Bane book, and they want you to get into Revan's story. They need to do that with High Republic, like you're saying, is start referencing things older so everybody can start moving backwards and backwards and backwards. Again, we're talking about a very small amount of people that read all the books and stay focused, but you have to baby step it back. You can't just jump 2,000, 5,000, or 35,000 years right now.
I was about to say baby steps. It's got to be baby steps.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You could do that. You don't have to go all the way back, but I mean, like I said, I would love a Lord of the Rings intro. Well, I would love a Lord of the Rings intro like they did with Sauron, right? Like, here's the second age, and the second age ended and the third age began, and then the third age in Star Wars would be like, now we have Force users, and now let's get into the Force users and how they split and became power hungry and Sith, and how did they discover the Sith, and let's really explore that. Like I get excited for that, and I've always been excited for that because, again, what the EU really helped, or the Legends really helped that stuff.
You think they're going to make Vitiate the next main villain?
Yeah, well, they kind of have to, as far as like going into the High Republic or the Old Republic.
I would say Old Republic.
Yeah, they have to, right? I mean, he's the pinnacle.
He's the main baddie.
Yeah, the Emperor. He's more than just a decade old, man. He goes back years and years and years, and his story is kind of cool too.
Yeah, because they have the Sith Lords. I mean, Darth Revan was made canon in the visual dictionary for the Rise of Skywalker. But
yes,
there was other ones. You got Darth Tenebris, Phobos, Decimus, and Dedu. Tannis is a brand new one. And Naga Sadao, which
Naga Sadao, that there makes me very happy.
And these are all Sith Lords.
On Dedu, obviously, which would explain him knowing how to essence transfer.
Yeah.
See, right there, what you just listed, and when you said there's new ones, told me that those weren't just Easter eggs, because they've actually got old ones coming in from Legends and one brand new ones. Yeah, so that is exciting.
And the description for these Sith Lords, I mean, the ones from Legends, these are ones that are obsessed with cheating death and being immortal or learning immortality. And Lord Vitiate was really the only one that was truly successful in it, and he ruled for over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So that would make for, I think, a fantastic villain.
Yeah, and also to bring in Darth Nihilus, right? Because the Niles, again, it could mean anything in the High Republic, and as opposed, I don't know if
it's too on the
close
nose.
On the nose.
Yeah. You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Because Revan had the Revanites. I mean, I know like Vader had the Acolytes, right? They weren't called Vaderites. So Niles would be cool because Darth Nihilus, he's like Voldemort, never died. He put his essence into his mask and robe, and anybody can carry that man. Well, you guys, never mind. You're not a World of Warcraft fan, so you wouldn't know. Yeah, almost went way over that line, that nerd.
Yeah,
line.
Man. But, draw it every single show, and somehow.
It's the way my brain works. But yeah, like Darth Nihilus, almost to the point, can never die. Right now, right now in our sequel trilogy, he's alive, or his essence is alive. You know what I mean? Like someone just has to put on the mask, you know, and he'll take over.
Is that how it works?
On him, because he used to kill and take life force and consistently feed off life forces of Jedi and Sith and everybody. And he wanted to die, but he couldn't. It got beyond the point where Darth Nihilus became less of himself and more of an essence, and now his belongings empower him. And so if anybody finds that, you know, they'll become him. So the Niles would be awesome.
He's anchored to his mask and to his robe.
Yes. And
so more of
that's pretty cool.
What's that, Joe?
Is he more of a ghost?
He's a spirit.
Almost like a spirit,
yeah.
Or something?
Yeah. He's
okay. Let me ask you guys this: are you guys okay? We all know the stories of the expanded universe and Legends. Are you guys scared that Disney will change any of that? They'll use the names, but they'll change storylines and they'll change pivotal things that we love about the expanded universe. They'll change it to their interpretation.
Go ahead, Scott.
If I may. No, because I absolutely love what they did with Thrawn. Thrawn's a prime example of how they were able to take aspects of a character and push him into a new direction. And actually, Chris and I were talking about this earlier, how he's no longer just a straight up villain. They've made him more interesting. He still has some of those villainous tendencies at times, but you start to see, especially with this latest book, you start to see the motivations behind it, and you realize that he is not just a two-dimensional villain. And if they're able to take Revan or Nihilus or Bane or Exar Kun, I'm going to hang my hat on that damn Exar Kun and Eula Keldroma story. I love those guys.
Do it, man. Yeah.
If they can take those stories, keep the essence of those characters and build something new off of it, based on what I've seen with Thrawn, I have faith in it.
Yeah, if they have their ear to the ground, they'll do the right thing. Like they say, if they do their research, it's all there, you know.
It would be a little trickier to do what they did with Thrawn with the Old Republic stuff, because we never had Thrawn's background before, like his how he got to where he was. We saw the end of Thrawn.
Right.
Is really, we saw a little bit in Outbound Flight and things like that later on, but we're talking about just that trilogy. We didn't see all of that. And so now that we're getting the back piece, it's like we've talked about before, that old Heir to the Empire was him versus the legacy heroes. Now we see him with the legacy villains, or we see him now with the Chiss. Zahn said recently that he was very careful not to uncanonize or screw with anything from the Heir to the Empire trilogy in case they want to revisit it.
Right.
You know, again, so, you know, it would be a little bit trickier. I'm not scared they're going to undo anything, because I think they'll still keep, like you said, the essence and the flipping, flopping back and forth with Revan. I bet you they take some of it away, maybe not do it as many times, or split or what have you.
Just streamline it.
Kind of differences. Yeah.
Streamline it. That's all you got to do.
They'll clean it. I think the only thing that when they go back, and I think the reason they're going back slowly too is they don't screw something up in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because the old canon, the old legends, that's the problem is they started going forward, backward, in the middle, around the side, and eventually things don't click.
Right.
And now if they go bit by bit, now let's do this time frame for a while. They've been right now since the acquisition. It's been all the Skywalker saga time frame. And that's it. That's what people are complaining about, right? There was an argument I had online the other day about it. And the guy saying that there's no world building, universe building. They're finishing up this time frame. Now we're going to go back High Republic, 200 years. Let's do this whole time frame. Let's play around in here for a little bit, this new sandbox. Then let's go back then to the Bane bit, which won't take long, right? I mean, you can have a Disney Plus series and cover the Bane bit. It's not like there's things going on everywhere. A lot.
Right.
Still want animated.
Yeah.
I would love animated.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go back to Revens and you can do a big old, then you can do another mass market time frame. That's the way to do it. Disney, my name's Chris. If you want to message me, we can talk in marketing and planning.
Yeah, I'm not so afraid of them taking these characters and basically creating their own version of it in canon. As long as they take the formula that worked with Thrawn and they apply that to these other characters, then I believe in them. Like, especially if they bring in the creator of these characters. So they brought in Zahn for Thrawn.
Absolutely.
And if they bring in Drew Karpyshyn for Bane and Revan, then we're good. As long as I think it might be better in the sense because with these characters, they created them. However, with Drew Karpyshyn, he kind of got screwed over with his character because he wanted to give him a proper ending in the novel. However, BioWare didn't allow that. They wanted him to keep him alive so they could use him as a DLC for the Old Republic MMO game. So he kind of got lax with the writing. I think there was an interview where he said, "Yeah, I didn't like what they asked me to do. I wanted to give him a proper ending."
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't.
It is controversial.
My whole heart wasn't into that ending.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those books are nothing like the Bane books.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
See, on one hand, right, if you have source material and you just copy that source material and just kind of make it live action or whatever, I don't think people that are into the creativeness of it that's what they're gonna do. Like for example, what I'm trying to say is let's take Shadows of the Empire, right? If we took Shadows of the Empire and it just made Shadows of the Empire exactly word for word, beat by beat what we know, is it that exciting? Yes, it's exciting to see it on screen, but is it that exciting to get something new? Like, it's not, right? So creative.
But some of those things, remember, when they were made, things that were made then are cheesy now. They want to update them, make them cooler.
They were cheesy then. I'm sorry. Luke Skywalker training in a circus tent on Tatooine? No, that was dumb.
No, that whole book was gold.
It was gold.
It was bronze at best.
So
everything about that whole thing.
Yeah. So Joey, to kind of like answer your question, it can be a slippery slope if you go, hey, we don't want to give them exactly what they know, so we're going to change it to the point where it's unrecognizable. That's dangerous. We have to put our confidence into what they do, what Disney does, or Lucasfilm does, right? Like Tommy says.
I got confidence because they did. Kylo Ren is a perfect example of brilliance.
But he wasn't source material, right? Like, he was a brand new character.
He's a brand new character. But what I'm saying is there any, because there's people that are so loyal to expanded universe material and legends. Well, little tweak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's destined to happen.
I'm sure, like,
people are gonna blow up.
Yeah, like Tommy's gonna probably point out, like, that's not how they did it in Legends. Mm-hmm. But is it good enough to be in the new canon? Like, is it not good enough? I'll rephrase that. Is it powerful enough? Is it make sense? Does it move the storyline? Does it make the character as equally strong as it did in Legends than it did in this new era, whatever the direction it is? I think that's the most important.
Expectation. Like, if they're really expecting this character to be exactly the same as he or she was in Legends, then that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. You are setting yourself up to be disappointed.
Yeah, you are. 100%.
You have to just kind of realize, hey, they're going to take this character and fit it into canon however they see best. It's all about execution. If they execute it properly, execute it right, then what's the problem?
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it has the same impact, but again, they're gonna isolate another part of the fan base that is going to do exactly that. They're going to build it up in their heads to be beat by beat, word for word, and it's not going to come fruition. And even though Disney or Lucasfilm never even said that they're going to do that, they'll be like, hey, you should have, or you didn't do what you promised. Or like, we didn't promise anything. This is what you got. You set it up in your head. Just because it didn't come out right in your head doesn't mean it's not good.
And we're all guilty of it.
It's just different. All of us here, except for Mike, he was the only one happy about Last Jedi. We were like, what did I just watch? Like, I don't understand. Until we like put it in perspective and said, okay, maybe it's not something that I wanted. It was something different, and the different work in its own way. You know what I mean?
I think that's what'll happen with this, and,
Exactly.
and like I said, if you can get Drew Karpyshyn back, and I mean that would be cool if he would come. Do
if they're smart, they'll do that because
let him tell the story he wants to tell.
Because that work was on, and to Scott's point, if you get him come back and give the same heart of the character, and we get the background and everything through the books again, but in a different way, the way Zahn did with Thrawn, and then you will see him different. Although again, Revan's story we had was front to back, but
right.
We've got a whole new dimension to Thrawn. We get a whole new dimension to Revan.
I'm telling you, I've read all the Thrawn books, every one of them. And this new in Ascendancy has got to be my absolute favorite out of them all. So, I mean, if they're able to take a character like Revan and let Karpyshyn do what he wants to do with it.
Finally, yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to work perfect for me because I was never like deep into Expanded Universe or Legends or anything.
Right.
I mean, I knew of Revan, I knew of Darth Bane, I knew of Malgus.
Right.
I knew him by name, and I knew him by watching the game experts for the game, the like little movie things on YouTube.
Right.
Watching that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I know it. So whatever Disney puts out, linked to that. To me, it's going to be brand new to me, so I'm going to accept it regardless.
I think that's going to be a huge percentage of people, actually.
Yeah.
Just like, again, going back to Thrawn and Rebels, a lot of people don't know who that was. People don't know why Darth Maul was alive in Solo. People don't know the expanded stuff. So, yeah, getting the new stuff, if they put Revan in a movie, it would upset quite a few Legends fans on no matter what they took the direction in.
Yeah.
Right? But to the most of the people, probably, 95 to 98% of the people, it'll be new.
Yeah, it will be. But
my only experience with any of the figures or any of the characters are the toys. Because I didn't do a lot of the books and I don't do the video games. So I've got a Revan, I've got a Malgus, and Nihilus, and I'm like, these are really cool figures. Yeah. What's their story?
It's a huge marketing and opportunity to really tell like I said, instead of just the tale of the Jedi and there's no more rule of two, and you got this Sith versus Republic kind of thing going on, and the Sith Empire coming back. Why are they coming back? Where have they been? And then getting into that rule of two. Why, that development into what the Sith really are and what their code is. It's just such a bigger world that we can explore on live action and cartoons and books. And I mean, we had them in book form, we had it in comic form, but now that everything is quote unquote officially canon, even toys, even the backs of cereal boxes, that's canon. You know what I mean? If they say Chewbacca ran over somebody, that's what happened. So to really go into, okay, now it's set in stone, the opportunity there to create, like Chris said, the people are wanting that expanded Star Wars universe, right there.
Well, I've said that when we're doing book reviews all the time, when they were putting out book after book after book, it was like, okay, these are a bunch of, I didn't want to say filler books, but they were just informational stuff. I did actually, again, I argue with somebody at the opposite of this argument.
Right.
But I have said that. And I've said, there's a point where we need to go bigger. And that's what we're about to get.
Right.
But it was neat. We've got a lot of great stuff in the background. It's still, we're still getting stuff. I think we're still going to get post Return of the Jedi stuff coming up, but just a lot less of it. You know? Mandalorian, and I would assume the Ezra Thrawn stuff is coming up in Ahsoka.
Yeah,
but everything else in there is going to start going in the past now and getting away from this time frame.
Yeah, I feel if people really gravitate to the High Republic stuff, like if it's really being talked about and accepted, I think hopefully they'll expand on it into the visual or the moving picture stuff instead of just novels and comics.
Okay, that's what Charles Soule said the other day. He's like, this isn't a one and done thing. He's like, I have a year. I have a deal and a plan on this for years to come. This isn't
for
like
the High Republic.
This isn't just hey, this is the next year's New 52.
Right. Yeah.
This isn't that. This is he's got years of planning and books and
that's
things
exciting. That's exciting because in order to have certain storytelling, you have to have those elements and those dynamic elements, and to look that far ahead and say, look, I've got a few years of content here in this era. That's exciting. That's exciting to hear, even though we haven't really gotten much detail, right?
Are we thinking that if there are multiple years worth of planning in this thing, do we think it could branch off from the comics and the novels? Do you think we could get something in the moving picture category?
If it's a couple of years, I would hope so. I hope that's one of those Disney Plus plans going on.
Yeah. If they would have to tie it into current projects, I would believe. You couldn't just like sit in a movie theater and go like the average moviegoer, right? And they say, Star Wars: The High Republic, Episode 1. They'd be like, what is this? I don't understand any of it. I don't even know. I don't think I'm going to even watch it.
This could lead into the whole theory of people that want, or theory, not really theory, but the whole people asking for a Yoda story. I mean, here you go, Yoda in his prime. You don't need necessarily an origin story.
Right.
Because you have Baby Yoda, the child.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
Which is a distraction, right? Like, you don't want Yoda, you got the child. Look at this.
But this allows you to do a Yoda in his prime adventure story, a one-off a Star Wars story, if you will.
Yeah, it would.
Well,
interesting.
Whatever they do, I'm in it. I'm in it, man. Like, we're all in it. We're
honestly, I just want a movie, dude. I just want a movie.
Well, see, do you think this whole thing, since you see that everybody's pushing their films back a whole year now, release dates, right? Because the box offices are so hosed and everything else.
Right.
Do you think this is when they just start making some decisions to kind of change course and be like, okay, we had this trilogy of films planned, but we do so well on Disney Plus. Let's just put it on Disney Plus at a pay-per-view price.
Yeah, absolutely.
$20 or $30 to put out. 'Cause we'll all do it.
The one thing, I'm sorry. The one thing that I heard from Hollywood and the studios is like they are actually. A lot of these people who are doing the sitcoms and the writing stuff, they go, you know what? It's almost a blessing in disguise. Now we can sit back and really marinate the story, like really like make something cool rather than turning something in within 2 weeks and just kind of like, all right, just do it. Just give him what he wants. Now they can like, concentrate on that. And if Star Wars can do that, right? Like take a step back and go, look, we did 3 movies in 5 years. And this is what happened. Look at these people. Now look at them. They don't know what to do with this. If they really took the time,
that's why we can't have nice things.
That's why we can't have nice things. We gave them 3 movies and they hated it. So, and if they really kind of take a step back and go, okay, now we have this High Republic, and now we have an opportunity to really put it out there in steps and stages. And we have The Mandalorian, which is a success. Now, how can we bank off that? And how can we spin that and make Cassian a success? How can we make Kenobi the same kind of attention that it's given? Of course they're going to look into it one way and say, look, the child is a world phenomenon. How can we repeat that? They're going to try that. You know that. They're going to try the cutesy fart, the cutesy way of doing things.
Cutesy fart?
Yeah.
You did say cutesy fart.
Yeah, I did say that, huh? Can't go back now. That's the tattoo I have on the... Anyway,
Arabesh,
yeah. So,
what's your tattoo say?
So
underneath Sith My Little Pony. Sith My Little Pony. That's cutesy fart right there.
Okay,
you like that?
Cutesy fart.
Darth
Sounds like a gamer tag.
Did we mention he's still single?
Come on, ladies.
And there's no question now why, but so. I'm saying that prepare yourselves for that moments of they're going to try to repeat that success in no matter what serious content they're going to give us. They're going to try to repeat that. But on the other hand, I'm hoping that they do realize too, and I'm speaking to Lucasfilm and Disney as they're hoping you realize too that
right at you.
Yeah, like hey, Rogue One worked. It worked really good. Solo worked too, and Mandalorian's working really, really well. So there's a formula that's going to get you paid. All right, so continue that route also.
Yeah, I kind of hope, or kind of thinking that since everything is kind of leading, or at least it seems like it's leading to the Old Republic, they're gonna take the Mandalorian, the success from that, because it is a widely loved series.
Yeah,
everybody loves it. They're gonna take that and go with the Mandalorian Wars.
Yeah,
it's easy. Like they're like, oh,
please,
Mandalorian Wars, the next series.
Please,
yeah.
We were familiar with Mandalorians.
You're right.
Let's watch
There's
it.
your household name. There's your tie-in. to bring in Old Republic stuff. If they go
use
into
the Darksaber and then go back to the history of the Darksaber.
She said Mandalore the Great. Yeah. That's all I want to. I want to see Mandalore the Great on screen.
Yeah, and, which is a brand new Mandalore.
With the whole foundling thing, I mean, they've taken the idea of, not the Mandalorians not necessarily being a race, because that was, And I mean, that was the whole thing. The helmet of Mandalore fell. Somebody else grabbed it, put it on. I'm Mandalore now. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Like I said, that is it. I mean, Tommy's right. All the directions are pointing towards that. I mean, look at the figures we're getting in the toys, right? Look in these little compartments. We're getting a huge surplus of not even just Mandalorian series, but like Mandalorian Clone Wars toys. We got more Mandalorian stuff in the 7th season of the Clone Wars. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff leading back. And now if they present to the masses the Mandalorian Wars as a series or a movie, I think that could be the catch. That could be the phrase. That could be the banner, the advertisement, and people will kind of go, yeah, I remember that from that Star Wars, and that's the whole thing. And then from there, you can even backtrack to, like I said, bring in Revan and Nihilus and all that stuff. And
we've got Revan's lightsaber out there. You can buy it at GameStop right now.
Yeah.
See, it's so hard because we see all these things they got to do. You got to realize it's time, people, energy, money, right? There's so many things they can do because they had 22 years to do it before.
Exactly.
We've had 6.
What was that?
And that's the thing.
There's a band quote, like people who are in bands, and they say we had our whole life to make our first album and 3 months to make our second album. It's it's such a true statement on anything creative, right? Like everybody wants that next thing, and it's not as good as the first. It's like, yeah, no kidding, because you only gave me 3 months to do this.
Right.
In essence.
Here's something I do hope they change about everything when they do these, and we'll just use the Drew Karpyshyn books, okay? And we'll use any of them. When you go back to the old EU, it was a very small universe, right? So it was always the same planet.
Right.
Most of the time. They might introduce one or so, but like even going through Bane, they're always talking about, like, they talked about how they went through Bespin and Tatooine, and they used the same planets. They even had Hoth was the general. I mean, they're not even good about the names.
Right.
Chancellor Valorum was thousands of years too. It's not like there's a lot of repeat stuff that they didn't do well about changing the style. Ships, things like that when you went back. I think it'd be good to give it a more unique look. And I do think they're doing that with High Republic. You can look at them like they look more King Arthur and type things.
Absolutely,
right?
they do.
That would be amazing.
Especially with that new saber,
that
right?
now.
The Excalibur saber that they showed last week.
So are you saying that they, with like the aliens and stuff like that, like we need to see something new? Because
I think they just overdid back then. Like now we went familiar, but it was always familiar there. There was nothing
right.
new. So it's
kind of like the sequels, they went too new and they left out all the familiar.
Right.
They need to be able
like
to mesh
Mandalorian is the good one where you see new people and old people, right? Yeah. And new aliens and Twi'leks.
Bring in the Ricotta, right, Tommy? Like let's go.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Which they made Lehon, the planet Lehon, which is where the Starforge is at. They made that canon as well.
Where was the canon at? I did hear it recently.
It was in, I believe, I don't even play the board games, but I think it was
one of the games.
Yeah,
I did hear that. Yeah, and I'm going through the Bane books now, and it was I just went through that chapter a couple chapters ago where they did the whole Revan.
Oh yeah.
Going through Lehon and the unknown planet. And,
where he finds Revan's holocron. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Chris, whatever you do, don't look in the chat. Just don't.
Why?
Just don't.
Now we gotta look.
My comment.
Uh-oh.
I just
but it's igniting a fire.
Yeah. I basically restated that we will never live to see the final Star Wars movie.
Oh man. Hopefully they maintain the schedule. I think the next trilogy is 2023?
Yeah. They said the no new movie until 2023. Or that's when they pushed it back. It was supposed to be 22, right? Was it? 22, 24, 26. Now it's 23. And so, I mean, the world shut down on us, and no fault of anybody's, on that aspect.
I think it might be good. Like to the point, we're not shooting things out.
Take a step back.
They're still working on things.
Yeah,
right?
take a step back.
I do watch on Twitter, and you can see some like the authors and the writers and the creative teams. They talk. You can see them talking to each other, and they'll do pictures of them in a conference in a Zoom, and they're doing different books and different things. Someone doing a comic, some doing a novel,
Right.
and they're all talking about this plan. They're still doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, this slows the world down, lets them get
It
through
does.
these stories and do really well. I think we're going to get a lot of really good stuff. These people are passionate about it
Yeah.
now. Or I think not that they haven't been the whole time.
Right.
But-
Well, like I said, it might have been just a little bit too much
Rushed.
too fast. You know,
Yeah.
especially like their notion of trying to do the Marvel thing where it's like 2 movies a year and stuff, and we're like, I don't as much
I'll
as I
take
love
a movie a year.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
down. Let's do
one
it.
a year. I mean, we look. It's a funny thing to say, but I'll speak for myself, and I know Chris and I had this discussion before. It's like we were cool with every other year a movie.
Every third year.
Yeah, every 3 years we were cool with it, and it's a funny reason why is because when we get a Star Wars movie, it's not just okay, that was cool. Next, it changes your life. It changes everything you do in Star Wars every day. When we live Star Wars outside the movies, collecting or watching or do whatever. It takes 3 years to digest a Star Wars movie. Like to really like kind of put it in its place. Theory craft the hell out of everything. Why was Yoda's hair messy? Everything. I mean, that's what we do. To give us 2 movies a year was like, oh, we couldn't handle it. And I think that's what maybe happened to Solo is just kind of like, wait, it's just too much and I'm not with it, So I like the spreading out of it. And like I said, I don't think I'm alone in that,
No, and if we're getting shows on Disney Plus and all the extra stuff in print,
Yeah.
and the games, we've got enough content. We don't.
Yeah.
Need to be,
I do want more game content though. I think they're still lacking in that department, but just get it out of EA's hands and get it into somebody else that wants to do it and make money. It's a money printing, thing. It's like you make a Star Wars game, people buy it. So get it out of EA's hands.
Do we think our time in the theaters are almost done though? Is kind of what I was getting at. Like, do you think we're just gonna start streaming soon?
Well, the closure of the Regal kind of is another nail in the coffin of.
I hope not.
I hope not
Yeah.
either. I like the experience.
Yeah.
I hope that experience never goes away. Now
We can line up at my house, and I'll just
Yeah,
open the door.
that's very true.
Whose house are we gonna line up at?
We can take turns.
We are in the new era of not just giving a story in 2 hours anymore, though. We are that. We're in that era of taking 5 years, 10 years to tell a story. Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, et cetera, and I think Star Wars is no different. I think you're going to get that, and that's what we've been wanting too. So I love the fact that we can pop on the TV every Friday night and watch a series, an ongoing thing that's been, in last 3 seasons ago he did this, and all these new characters. I think that's where the new entertainment era is in there. I don't know if the 2-hour movie experience ever go away, which I hope it doesn't. But there is a lot more, I guess, to be said on the binge watching episodes, where it takes, like I said, 10 years to tell a story versus 2 hours.
Yeah.
Win-win for us, I think. As consumers, I think
As
it's
long as we
win-win.
get stuff, I'm cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would miss the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think okay. So they close all the theaters. I think that format will never go away. We've always had theater in some sort of thing in human history. Opera to theater to
God, I
movie
hope.
to
Well,
movie.
now it's
moving
just
pictures.
home though. But
It's home. It's home.
is
But
the
I
new
think
theater.
there always will be a some sort of public experience on that. Like concerts. I think concerts will never go away. You seen it on my TV.
There'll be a drive-in theaters. It does stuff. They do drive-in theaters. There's
Right.
one like right now we were looking at going in San Diego where it was a drive-in, literal a concert.
Right.
It's country. Mark.
Yeah, I know.
But,
Somewhere where you could just sit back and
The stage is there, but you park your trucks, I assume,
Trucks,
all around
yeah.
it,
Right.
in a circle all around. I'm like, what kind of mess that is,
Yeah.
But
So when you get mad at
it's-
somebody, you just run them over instead of just.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
couldn't believe.
We co-
If
Sorry.
those trucks are
Did I
rocking,
do? Oh God. Yeah. Drive-through concerts. That's crazy.
yeah.
Okay. Let's switch gears once again. And Chris and Tommy actually had a discussion over Finn, John Boyega's Finn, right? You guys had a kind of like a deep discussion going on and stuff, and I would like for you guys to bring out to the rest of us and share what.
Man, my booze is all gone.
Well, what it was it wasn't even, we weren't even disagreeing. It's just about,
Right.
it was a couple of weeks ago when Boyega was heavy in the media. It just got into taking it away from that piece and going into just universe, right? Just strictly Finn's arc. How do we feel about Finn's arc? And do we think he got a fair shake? Do we think he didn't get a fair shake? Where do you think it went where it was supposed to go? What could it have done? So we were just kind of going to talk about that. And I'll start it off. I think from the beginning, Finn was marketed. It was the first thing we saw.
Yeah.
Right. In the Force Awakens trailer.
Right. Lightsaber in hand. Yeah.
Right. And then we end up seeing him with the lightsaber. We think this guy's going to be a big deal.
Right.
He wasn't, but he was that side character we needed. He wasn't the Jedi. That was going to be Rey. He wasn't the villain. That was going to be Kylo. You know, he was honestly, I think everybody thinks Poe is more Han. I think Finn was more Han's character. The more going after the girl, looking for the girl, wisecracking a little bit. That kind of lighthearted character, more Han, and that's why I think he got
started that
with
way.
Han,
Yeah.
Right, and I think his character was good, and I think even in Last Jedi, that's when he really had the fit, right, about his character, not about everything else, just the character.
He always complained that they weren't together, like his separate adventures.
They weren't together. His arc didn't go anywhere. I thought his arc was great in Last Jedi. I think that's where it was the best.
Right.
And I say a lot of things about Last Jedi still, but somebody asked today, "What's your favorite scene in all the sequels?" And it's the Luke and Kylo at the end. Right, even though it's my third favorite film of the bunch, that's where it is.
Right.
But anyway, Finn's arc there with DJ and Rose, after you understand what it is, we've discussed it here a bunch of times, right? Mm-hmm. Once you understand that arc and why he made that choice and how they made him make it, I think his arc was fantastic. Rise of Skywalker, that's where I think it all kind of fell apart. Yeah. So it was kind of odd that he was upset character-wise about that piece, because I think Last Jedi did him very well. I think Rise of Skywalker is where his character didn't do anything extra for me.
Well, do you think his
Tommy, what were you saying about it, Tommy?
Well, I was just because he had an interview, I believe, with GQ, and he was talking about his experiences with Lucasfilm, being Finn, and he talked about a number of things, but that was what really stood out to Star Wars fans was his experience, and basically it boils down to that. Even with the trailer, when we first saw the Force Awakens trailer, it was kind of heavily implied that he would be the hero, or at least a hero.
A hero, right.
A Jedi, lightsaber in hand.
Absolutely.
He would, be saving the galaxy. I mean, he does in his own way, really. But it kind of, he felt disappointed in the sense that that's not where his character arc went. He kind of just boiled down to a side character that was just yelling Rey.
Yeah.
A lot. You know?
Yeah, we make fun of it, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and then if you come, because I have one of my best friends, he's a black guy, and his excitement was above mine upon seeing the Force Awakens trailer. He's like, "Oh, they're finally gonna do like a black Jedi that's like the main hero," and he was hyped for it.
Yeah, that was my response.
Yeah, and
no, seriously, I was like, "Oh, hell yeah!"
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I was hyped for it too. I was like, "Oh, that's cool!" Like they're going for it. And after seeing the movie, he was. I mean, I couldn't even express to you how disappointed he was, and I understood. I loved the movie regardless.
Right.
He liked the movie regardless, but his disappointment was pretty strong in that regard, despite how good the film was. And I could understand, like, it's, they kind of, Lucasfilm advertised it a certain way toward that demographic, but didn't give it to him. And that's basically what it boils down to.
Do you think it was more, they were just trying to hide what was really going on more so than marketing to a demo? Maybe, or maybe a bit of both.
It could be. I also, my thing is, I think Lucasfilm has ears to the ground. There was all sorts of backlash upon seeing the trailer. They saw Black Stormtrooper. What is this like? And
everybody arguing that their clones were from Django, right?
Right. Yeah.
We're 60
uneducated morons.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm sure they heard that backlash among other things. This, aside from, oh, he's not a clone. It was other things too, which I won't get into.
Oh yeah, but, you're right. It was.
And then that with The Last Jedi, it gives credence even more so to that concept or the idea that Lucasfilm has ears to the ground, because with Rose, she was a primary element of The Last Jedi, and then we see her in The Rise of Skywalker, and she's kind of like to the side.
Yeah, so. I'll put the first two movies, I think actually did justice to all the characters. Now Rise of Skywalker is where it fell apart. to Finn's character, because why introduce he's force sensitive now and not go anywhere with it? And like I said, just have him yell Ray. And I think that's a little bit of a backpedal by J.J. Abrams or what have you.
It's kind of like too little, too late.
Yeah, like oh wait, he was force he was supposed to be the Jedi that we never saw, but we never got that. Like I said, that to me was a little bit weird. Even watching
if you would have just said I'm force sensitive, and then we're a couple, a year or so deep into this relationship, and he hasn't helped with the force or asked for help. Or,
he could just feel Ray.
I'm with you at the very first trailer when we saw Finn as a storm. We didn't really see him as a stormtrooper. We just saw him in the desert, breathing heavy. So
right.
But at the end, holding the saber, right? And in the poster, I think had him holding the saber, and I was like, this is cool. I mean, I was just, because it's Star Wars. I'm like, Star Wars is so diverse as far as like can be, not where we say that can't happen. No, Star Wars is like, yes, you can have a female lead. We can have a person of color lead. We can. It's Star Wars, and I absolutely loved Finn's role in Force Awakens. I think it was good because they didn't introduce any kind of Force things. Now, yes, you can see maybe talking like, okay, his Force Awakening as a stormtrooper, as a reality, like this is wrong. I'm on the wrong side of history here. That's a different than the Force, being Force sensitive, right? I think where it loses ground is Rise of Skywalker. I think Rose.
Here's my thing with Finn. I mean, I honestly think his character got robbed of a beautiful ending.
Now looking back,
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, now looking back when Rise of Skywalker didn't do anything with Finn. Yes, I agree with you. Now I agree with you.
But I don't think go ahead, Joey.
Yeah,
he because that would have been so
metal.
Trying to watch my language. It would have been great. If he could have died sacrificing himself. For the cause.
It would have been super heroic.
The way they set it up, the way they had it going, just to have it robbed.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm going to take that scene. Say he did sacrifice himself, that changes a lot of things, because what we got was Luke saving the day, not really Finn saving the day, so he had to escape to fight another day, right? If you had Finn doing that, it's still in vain. Like, he just maybe bought them 5 minutes. That really didn't do anything. Luke Skywalker's the one who came down and really gave him the escape and did the whole thing with that Rey and Kylo confrontation. So if Finn, the only way that would happen, if Finn crashed into that thing and the movie went to somewhere else, like completely somewhere else, and he saved the day that day, and we had a completely different ending, I would say absolutely Finn's sacrifice there would have been a monumental.
Would have been huge in character development alone.
Yeah, but him dying and then continuing, they're still pounding the door, and then Luke comes. That would have been in vain. That would have been horrible. I would have been like, that sucks.
Or at least if you would have died in and bought them more time or something like that.
But that's what Luke did. You know what I mean? Like, Luke is the one who did it, and that was the whole point of it.
All it would have done was taken out the gun. They could have still gotten into the building, and then you still would have had the army coming in. So they really did need Luke there.
Yeah. So I think the problem is with Rise of Skywalker, if you're going to have Finn be a Force sensitive, and maybe he should have been used, like the Emperor should have saw it in him and maybe exploited a weakness in him. Kylo was exploiting a weakness in Finn, but they never went anywhere with it. And
that would have been interesting.
Yeah. So.
But that's the thing, though. I don't get it. He says that he's Force sensitive, but when he was handling the lightsaber in The Force Awakens, it was like he couldn't even use it at all.
He was using it like he used the baton whenever he fought the other guy. He had no real skill with the blade. He was using it the same way he used that same.
Because the lightsaber is going to be heavy. He's never used one, so he's not going to be comfortable with it. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't be like Rey and just be able to grab it and throw it around.
I would think that it would be lighter than that thing that he was using in the.
Yeah.
It's
they say they're weighted heavy, like a old sword, like a big broadsword, right? They have a surprising weight to them.
Yeah. It's sad to think that John Boyega pretty much thinks his character really didn't have an impact in the trilogy.
I think it was more so that he, based on how they were kind of implementing him at first, initially, it kind of built up his expectation.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but then they kind of went a complete different direction with it. He was less than what was meant to be. And,
it's not that they went it's not that they went a complete different direction. It's what the advertised
direction.
Well, yeah, it's what the advertisements led it to be. And his complaint is, you used me to get so a lot of people hyped, and then the advertisement did one thing, and then the actual story that was pretty much set in stone in the first place. So it's like not like they pulled the rug out from under him. He knew what was going on the whole time.
Well,
it's just
I don't know if anybody really knew what was going on.
Well, at least the first two movies, right? Like the first two movies, I think.
I think the first movie was, as far as I know, the first movie was planned. Like they had it, and they just needed a director to say action and cut, and that's it.
I mean, they had Poe dying in the first movie, which that should have done.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was a good move.
It would have been interesting had they could have used him in some kind of redemption arc for Rey. I mean, we all know that she is the Palpatine blood. We knew that she had seen a vision of herself on the throne. Had she started falling to the dark side, I mean, Finn could have been used in that way to at least bring her back, to give him give him a better arc. Overall,
and it could have just been a split second with her about to turn, huh? Like her about to make a bad move and him walk in and Rey, no.
Well, that's what I thought was happening, because she had like the whole, like, you don't understand me. And he's like, I do understand you.
Nobody knows.
Right. Yeah, nobody knows me. And he was almost like the voice of reason, bringing her back to reality. Like, you can do this. You're not alone. Like, you're not alone. And that's why I felt Finn was powerful in Rise of Skywalker. Is like, Rey, you're going through stuff, but I'm here with you to do this with you. Like let's you don't have to go at it alone.
Here's the thing, and the problem with the complaint even about Finn's character is hardly any of them were developed well in the sequel trilogy.
True.
I enjoyed the sequel trilogy.
Kylo Ren was
besides Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Besides that, everybody else was just kind of there, and we were just watching adventures for 3 movies, which is okay, and I enjoyed that. But it wasn't the same kind of build that any of the other trilogies, even the prequel trilogy, had with like Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan went from Padawan up to Master over.
Right. That's just not a traditional sense of Star Wars. Like, I mean, neither was Luke Skywalker.
But they also each movie also had that 3 year to 2 year spacing between them.
One big day.
These movies, the first 2 movies were one week, and the third movie was a year later.
Yeah.
So when they're
not enough
upset about
time.
They all, besides Adam Driver, could be upset about their arc. Even Rey's arc wasn't phenomenal. She just happened to be the hero.
Yeah.
It just.
I think it's a tradition with Star Wars in general to just kind of go with the flow as far as the story goes, because like the original trilogy, George ended up changing a lot of stuff, and there's almost everything, and there's even even I think Mark Hamill spoke about it, where they filmed entire scenes, and George was just like, you know what, I'm not going to use it. I think the whole "I love you, I know" was kind of on the spot.
It was
him and Leia being siblings was not even planned until Return of the Jedi.
Right. He was directing and writing at the same time.
They put him in carbonite because they didn't know if he would come back.
Right.
Yeah. Right. They weren't sure if even Harrison Ford was coming. Right.
Harrison Ford wanted to die at every single time.
And that's where Shadows of the Empire came in, and they were planning to replace him with
Dash Rendar.
But he came back, and they didn't need it after all.
Yeah. He wanted to die. He wanted to die in the first movie. You wanted to die in the second movie. You wanted to die in the third.
Is that the secret origin of Shadows of the Empire? I mean, I've been a Star Wars fan all my life, but was Shadows of the Empire the original version?
Well, Shadows was in the 90s.
That was kind of
I know that, but what he just said was that they created Dash Rendar to replace Han Solo.
Because Han Solo was in carbonite
character.
No.
For Shadows, for Shadows.
Yeah. They needed a Han Solo-esque character because in that series, because the series was created way after. So,
but not like 1982. No,
right? No, Dash Rendar was never an original thought.
95, I think.
Yeah. That's what he's saying, guys. So just in that book, since we didn't have a Han character, Dash Rendar was created.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if maybe it was like some kind, because I'm not as steeped in the books as a couple of you guys are, so I wasn't sure if maybe that was an original take on something, but that was not my understanding. So
no, it was just that's what it was.
All right.
Yeah, it was kind of like a backup just in case Harrison Ford didn't agree to do Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back, excuse me.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense.
Or not.
I don't.
Return of the Jedi.
So.
I'm sorry, not Empire. That Empire is where they put him in carbonite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, like I was saying, like it's kind of like the whole tradition of storytelling in Star Wars is kind of go with the flow, and it wasn't as well received in the sequel trilogy, unfortunately. Right. I mean, I enjoyed it. Despite what happened with Finn, I still enjoyed his character arc.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, as Star Wars fans, we really pretty much take what's on screen as gospel and we just kind of put it in its place, right? And for the most part, I mean, up until like the past 5 years, I think, for the most part, I never took an interview. I never took a actors or direct or somebody like their word on their take on something. I was always like, this is the movies I got in front of me. I talk with my friends, and again, we put it in its place. So I never took an interview as, oh wow, that should have happened because this guy didn't agree. Like Mark Hamill saying, I fundamentally don't agree with Luke. I'm like, I don't care what you think. Like, I really don't.
So it is what it is.
He hated Luke Skywalker from the beginning. He wanted Luke to come back and Return of the Jedi. There's many articles on Mark Hamill not liking Luke's role in Return of the Jedi. And also...
And he was supposed to be the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
too.
and Lucas had him going to the dark side at the end, And that's what Luke wanted, or that's what Mark Hamill wanted. What we got was a definitive end of the trilogy, or, supposedly. And I never took that as, like I said, gospel, the interviews and stuff. So your friend that was kind of like overhyped on a person of color being like the most important, does he take it like he looks at the sequel trilogy and like, this is what happened, and I'm still a fan because of this? Then maybe the marketing misled me, but not Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, marketing and interviews might have misled him.
I think his perspective is kind of similar to mine, where it's the fans getting to Lucasfilm and they're kind of changing direction.
I see.
But he doesn't necessarily hold that against them because he still enjoyed the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
It just, as far as Finn goes, he wished he could have been what they implied originally. Because
that character's a lot to say, because it's evidence that there was a lot more there, especially in Rise of Skywalker. Like I said, if it was written to backtrack or whatever it was, there was a lot more there that never came to fruition.
Yeah.
And when the Snyder Cut comes out, maybe we'll get it, right?
The Snyder Cut.
So
on HBO Max, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more of Finn's development and what we didn't get. And I feel like a lot of Rise of Skywalker is a lot of backpedaling, and that's me personally, trying to make up for certain things and really rush into a lot of things like, oh, by the way, this happened. It's like, whoa.
But I think it's all a good lesson learned, and from now on, everything's going to be just great.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right, because they're using this time off to really marinate the next story and the next content.
Yeah, we got one team all in unison working together on one story, so it's not going to be go with the flow anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we didn't actually get the chance to get into that kind of talk even when John Boyega was doing all that stuff, because we just felt like, the political climate, right? It was a lot of heated and a lot of, stuff. But to put in perspective as far as like Finn's character in that, there might be some merit to it. There might be some... I don't know how much. We weren't on set. I don't know. I don't know what was said to him. I don't know what we only
ultimately,
got.
He was the only one there.
Yeah, we only got what was on screen, and we put it as gospel. We put it in its place, and we move on to the.
But again, hardly anybody had any development.
Yeah.
Besides Kylo.
If I have to fault anything that what the sequel trilogy does was, and I'll admit it, was like, hey, it wasn't a very well thought out play. It had a great beginning. But somewhere along the line, they were like, what do we do with this?
Yeah, they kind of got lost
in the middle. A little bit. I mean, like, I will credit Last Jedi for being as different as it was, and people didn't agree with it. It was at least it was ballsy enough to do something different. You know what I mean? I mean, the tongue-in-cheek comedy, forget that. I don't like that. I hate that crap.
How do you guys feel about George Lucas, though? Like, because... he didn't like The Force Awakens because he kind of felt it was a rehash. But there was an interview where he actually does like The Last Jedi.
And I agree. And that's...
I like The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Works for me.
And for the same reason I just said, it was something different. It progressed the story. Now, whether you
that's why he likes it.
Whether you agreed with that story or not, that's the difference between people are having, right? You didn't agree with Luke's arc, but at least he had an arc. At least it did something. At least it meant something at the end. You know, Finn, all that stuff, all that had in the end. It had a real good progression of the story. Now, again, some people don't like the execution of it. Some people don't like the direction, but at least it was a direction and not a rehash. It wasn't.
I'm of the mind for Luke Skywalker at the end of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
My standpoint is that his final act was probably the most Jedi thing we have ever seen.
Absolutely.
There you go. And it took me. Well, actually, that was something that I walked out of the theater really loving. The first time I saw it, I was like, I even told Chris, that Luke's arc to me was like poetry. It was beautiful. It just worked for me. And then the rest of the movie, I really had to like really watch it again and be like, okay, what did I just watch? But you know, it does work. It just like people are like, he ran away. Okay, but you had to have some sort of conflict Luke Skywalker was going through. You can't just have 3 movies of him just tearing up stuff. I mean,
and they established originally that he was on this island. He had left. He had ran away.
Yeah.
What else would drive Luke Skywalker to run away? You got a better idea? Please, by all means, share.
Yeah. Also, they're like, well, why did he run away just to leave breadcrumbs? I'm like, he didn't. He didn't leave anything behind for them to track. People tracked him. You know, Lorsan Tekka tracked him where he was. He did not be like, hey, I'll be over here on this island if you need me. He went there to die. That's what he did. So no, he did not leave breadcrumbs. He did not leave a map for him to. People made a map to him. They found him. You know, so.
I think they were saying that, you know, when Rey found him,
right?
Initially, what he was wearing, I don't know if this is correct, but it's traditional High Republic Jedi garb.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
I hope
I don't think it didn't. Awesome. It didn't say High Republic in the book, but it was a traditional ceremonial garb. Is what it said in the novelization. But it looks very High Republic, and they're doing that on purpose. That kind of look. So that'd be rad. Yeah.
Which he was about to kill himself right before she came.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know, he went there to die.
Remember the old rumor that he was standing there at his wife's headstone?
Oh, Mara Jade.
Is that little tree stump?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
okay, that's that. There we go. That's the hardest character to bring into canon now.
It is
Mara Jade.
Yeah. You can't do it now.
At this point, unless you give a backstory that just completely ignored in the sequel trilogy, you really can't get her.
Yeah. It's over. I think Mara Jade's over with. I really do. That's
I'm okay with that.
Well, would it be okay to bring her back and not let her get married to Luke? Because remember that Lucas didn't want that in the first place anyway, right?
I don't know, man.
He hated Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Timothy Zahn had to talk that whole thing in, right?
Yeah.
He finagle that.
I don't know, dude. If you bring her in, it's forced at this point, and I don't know. Yeah. It's just better just to leave her out completely. All or nothing.
Maybe that was part of the deal. You can't re-release the original trilogy, and you can't bring back Mara Jade. That was the piece in the deal.
All right. I think we need to wind this down. So we're almost we're hitting the 2-hour mark here in about 10 minutes.
Wow.
So
Here we are.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, I know, right? You see, again, we could talk Star Wars all day long, dude. So.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody else have any closing things to say as far as like what we talked about or?
I know we didn't as far as the Nile.
Yeah.
We were talking about Dark Nihilus. Now, if they actually end up making some movies and because I think the introduction, as far as the crawl that they revealed recently, they said that the Nile or the enemy, of course that's referring to the Nile.
Correct.
They're an enemy and they're a threat to the Jedi and to the Force.
Right.
Yeah.
Which for me was like kind of on the nose with Dark Nihilus.
Right.
Because he was essentially a threat to the Force.
Yeah, he was consuming Force energy.
Yeah.
And depleting it.
Yeah, the Jedi feared that he would basically devour the entire universe.
Correct. And then eventually killing himself because with no Force energy he would die. That to me is a real threat, and it's Darth Nihilus is like the epitome of this spin-off character of a Star Wars Force user going extremely dangerous and using the Force for extreme, just like Vitiate, right? Vitiate kills life on Earth and on all planets and everything to keep his essence alive. Everything's about keeping alive. Like you said, there's a common theme here. But Darth Nihilus really wanted to die, but he really could
take everybody with him.
Yeah, but take everybody. Yeah, exactly. So he has no problem depleting the world's energy so he can die. Vitiate did it so he can live. Yeah, dude. So if I'm kind of hoping that there is some sort of tie-in, because again, that is another household name that you tie back into Mandalorian Wars and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, the things that Darth Nihilus did. I mean, devouring an entire planet would be pretty cool to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with the Rise of Skywalker, they're kind of introducing us into overpowered feats. Like with Sidious, he shot the lightning up and took out and what was cool was he shot the lightning up and you could see that it was aiming specifically toward the Resistance and the civilian fleet.
Yeah, he concentrated his fire. Yeah, like it wasn't just
that was crazy.
A broad, like he wasn't targeting his own ships, right?
Yeah, it's neat to bring in the bigger stuff like that because you can do it in animation and it makes sense, right? But you see things in live action, it doesn't always. So you're right. That's a good point. That's one of the bigger things you've seen as far as not supernatural but powerful,
overpowered. Things, yeah. So being that they're introducing us to things like that, I kind of feel like characters like Darth Nihilus and Vitiate and even Revan would really do well on big screen because we've already seen it once and people seem to like it. I loved it.
Right.
Because Darth Nihilus, he lifted an entire fleet from a gravity well. He devoured planets.
Yeah.
He devoured entire armies of Jedi.
And it makes crazy. And it makes sense. His storyline, it makes sense why he does this stuff. So it's not just some guy with overpowered, stuff just trying to be Sithy. He was really, I mean, he really had his own agenda, and he fought with the Sith because he made the promise of killing Jedi and purging the Jedi and all that stuff. But he had his own agenda, and it was all for dark side. It was all force. It was all like almost selfishness or evil for a purpose of his own, and it really is a scary evil, and I hope that is something he's
a Sith, but not in the traditional sense.
Correct, because he'll kill Sith, and he doesn't care. He wants to die himself, but awesome. I like Dark.
As a character, I have absolutely no knowledge about. I've been hungry enough to eat a planet, so I mean, sure.
Yeah, well, he was what would they call him? The Lord of Hunger.
The Lord of Hunger.
Yeah, the Lord of Hunger. That's what his moniker was.
Okay, because the triumvirate was the Lord of Hunger, and then the Lord of Deception, which is Kreia. Or Darth Treya, and then the Lord of Pain, which was Darth Sion.
Yeah,
which he would be pretty. I think he'd be pretty creepy.
You bring all three of those guys. If you bring all three of them in, that man. I'm telling you, dude. Just take the video game, make it a movie, man.
We need a Lord of Pepto Bismol, a Lord of Therapy, and a Lord of Aspirin to counter.
Yeah, all pre-Rule of Two. It's just such a vast world, man, and there's a reason why the Rule of Two became a thing.
Could you imagine a Black Series set of the Dark Council?
No, yes, I want it.
I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
It's all in a video game.
That's all. Yeah,
it's all like Revan and the Old Republic started with the video game of Knights of the Old Republic for Xbox. Was it not 360? It was
the original.
The original
Xbox.
Yeah.
It was a exclusive video game, and then they made Knights of the Old Republic Sith Lords, which was with Darth Nihilus, and you play Revan. You're an exile, and you end up being Revan.
No, that's no, that's the exile is Mitra Sirik.
Oh yeah. The first one, you're Revan.
His general.
Yeah.
Revan's general.
And then they made the MMO, which continued the story, but it was like, I don't know, 1,000 years after. It was like a whole thing, but that still goes on today. Again, none of it's canon, right? But they do their own thing. Like BioWare is the only one that survived the canon purge and be like, you can still do your own thing, but it's still not canon. Which I wish they would.
Really well versed in the movies, in the toys, in the comic books, in some of the books. But whenever it comes to the video games and the Knights of the Old Republic, I feel like I've missed out on so much.
It's vast, man. It's vast. Yeah. Like it really opens up. Like I said, it opens up the world to not that scarce like what we know of Star Wars now. It opens up to this whole galactic, real the galactic war. Because. You don't just have, the two factions are the Sith Empire. You know what I mean? Like when you have a Sith Empire with a Dark Council, just like the Jedi Council had theirs and the Sith Council had theirs. It's like
And then later on was the Knights of Zekul, which is an entirely separate faction.
Yeah, that was Vitiate splitting himself.
You watch your language. This is PG-13, sir.
Yeah, that was.
There's been like 5 times I'm like, whoa, you sure?
I know, right?
Like every time he's saying ship, and then Chris said something, and I've had to process it different in my head, and then right now again.
Vitiate.
Right.
What?
So we're doing this.
Yeah. So no, all of it's grand. It's awesome. I want to see it come to canon. I want to see it come to Disney Plus, live action, all that. I want to see it. Like Scott always says, give it to me now.
Give it to me now, and give me animated stuff. You can do so many things with animation. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Why not?
Yeah.
Just look at that last series of the Clone Wars, and I mean, give us something that looks that quality.
Yeah.
Damn.
This might sound elementary. Where does Darth Malgus find? Where does he fall in all this?
So
that's Old Republic.
Yeah.
So that's during the time. I think it's 900 years. Well, after Revan was imprisoned in. I guess it's a spoiler, right? Revan gets imprisoned by the Sith Emperor, and the Sith Emperor basically uses him as a conduit of power.
He does,
and also to spy on the Jedi as well.
Yeah, Malgus is a military general in the Sith Empire, and he's almost like the Saw Gerrera of the Empire.
Or he's like a mix between Saw Gerrera and Vader.
Yeah, like. Even the Sith Empire was like, "Hey, your views are a little too extreme." Like Malgus was like, "Kill them all, like strike hard, strike first, no mercy." I mean, kill them all, and they were like, "Look,
yes, Sensei."
Yeah, so and he actually
my kind of guy.
Yeah, Malgus actually split the Empire, the Sith Empire, into 2 factions, and
he called him the False Emperor.
Yeah, and he became the Emperor's. He didn't become the Emperor's Wrath. He was the False Emperor.
Yeah, he was the False Emperor.
Yeah, and so in the video game, you had to defeat Malgus and his. Empire, like the Empire split into 2 factions, and just like Saw Gerrera's faction, split from the rebellion. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a chat specifically with just Tommy on Facebook or something, and he can provide me with links to all this crap, so I can actually watch it and know what you're talking about whenever you say vicious.
You know what?
Whatever his name is.
Wikipedia is actually pretty good. Like when you know that an article is legitimate when it has direct sources to actual Legends material. Like if you find a source, then it's legit.
Right. Yeah, it's all video game, and then the video game spawned books and comics and stuff. So it just goes on forever. But it was a cool thing about the Knights of the Old Republic video games, all stuff. It references Exar Kun. It references everything. Like it really does do a good job of.
Oh yeah, in the game, I mean the old MMO game KOTOR 1.
Yeah,
you do find like Exar Kun's Jedi robes and his lightsaber and things like that. It's pretty cool. The Keldroma robes and it's all.
Like I said, they had the Revanites in there. That there's a cult of Revan trying to bring them back, and they had the false Revan. I mean, it's all there. It's awesome.
Yeah, I lead them.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think it's time to get out of here. What do you guys say? It's
Oh yeah,
almost 10.
Yeah, it's almost 10. So everybody in the chat, thank you very, very much. I do want to kind of bring attention to something that we were aware of today, and I do want to bring it to this show because we lost somebody in our extended circle of Sarlacc Digest. We lost Caleb Baker. You lost him yesterday. So he was fighting some demons that, again, I won't go into a lot of details and stuff, that it just overtook him. So I do want to tell his family and everybody that knew him that we're thinking about him, and we will miss him at our May 4th events, trying to be the #1 trivia expert all the time. I just...
he was our very first winner.
He was our winner. He was on our podcast.
Couple times now, wasn't
he? He was on he did our solo reaction review. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, he was on there. Was a winner of our contest to do that. He was at all our events. So we're going to miss him, a lot. And the one thing about Star Wars is that, that brings the real life stuff to an end when we talk Star Wars, right? We're all here. We go into this fictitious world that I say it's real, but, we escape all that stuff, and I wish he did more of that, versus being overrun by real world stuff. So I didn't want to bring the show down, but I felt we had to mention him because, again, he was contributor at some sort, of our stuff. So Caleb,
Sarlacc family.
Yeah. So Caleb, we will miss you. With that, chat, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you guys. Tommy, thank you so much. I'll let you lead our outro. So Tommy, where can we find you?
You could find me if you go on Instagram or Facebook. I run a page called Star Wars Savage. I'm also on the RLU network with you guys.
Yes.
I do a podcast with Baba. I can't say the middle one, Baba Bear. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a podcast called The Legends of Polkai. I do that with Baba Bear and also Andre Slither in Darkness.
Yep.
I also do a podcast with the bros at Bro Axiom called Shooting the Poodoo. They also have a YouTube page here on YouTube called Bro Axiom, where they do like a weekly roundup or a review of the comics that come out weekly. It's non-spoilery, so
cool.
you can watch it, and they give you like a basic rundown, and they let you dive into the actual meat of the comic later on.
Cool.
But on your own, so they don't spoil it for you at all.
Awesome.
So that's Chris and Dan, and also V is part of that as well, which she does her own videos occasionally called the V Wing.
Nice. Well, again, thank you very much, and you're welcome to come back anytime, of course, especially when we have, content of EU stuff, and you're the guy that gave the RLU the questions with when we did those questions.
Or wasn't Andre? Or no, it wasn't.
That was Adrian.
Adrian. But you had help in it, right?
No, Adrian did it.
That was all Adrian.
Oh, Adrian. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
he's not to blame.
You're relieved.
I'm sure about that.
I was thinking too, like, because I was like, man, it was I was listening to that one episode, and I was like, man, it's nothing but legends, which is cool. Like for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys want to kind of answer questions, mix it
Sure.
up, do answer questions about the movies at least.
Yeah.
And it was not one.
Every single question.
That's all right.
That's okay. I just had to bring it
Yeah.
up, but yeah.
I knew it wasn't Tommy.
I ran it by Lucky. I was like, hey, I have some actual trivia questions from the original trilogy.
Right.
If you want to use that, he's like, maybe for the next one.
There you go.
Maybe for the next one. I was like, okay, I have them just in case.
There you go.
Oh, we'll all be on together soon there, right? We're doing the Marvel Star Wars show soon.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we can
Sometime.
figure out the date.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes, everybody. There will be a Marvel versus Star Wars, which I don't know why, because Star Wars and whatever. I mean, can you verse a Star Wars? I don't think so. But
Can
anyway.
you see the enthusiasm on my face?
I had Dario as a guest on the Legends of Polkai. Andre was there already because
Yeah.
he's one of the hosts. And toward the end of our most recent episode, they kind of wanted to dive into the whole Marvel versus Star Wars, and I didn't want to, unload
Right.
my gun. I was like, I have all my bullet points ready. I was like, I'm not going to load it, but I will give you one.
Right.
And I was like, there would be no Marvel without Star Wars.
There you go.
Exactly.
And they were just like, what?
Yeah.
They're all, what? And you're crazy. I'm like, I'll explain it. I'll
Yeah.
explain it once we get into it.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah. Marvel is cute, but Star Wars is forever. So that's all I got to say. If you walk out of a Marvel movie going, that was fun, that was cool, and then you go on, you
Every
wash your
time.
car, and you do things, right?
That's exactly right. We go to Tom's.
Yeah, you go to Tom. You eat with Star Wars. We freaking do we
Yeah.
interrupt lives. We don't pay
Yeah.
bills. We don't. We got. So.
No, I think I've seen every Marvel movie maybe twice.
Yeah, I've run
And
through. I
I've
like
seen-
Marvel. I'm not.
I've seen, my least favorite Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones, maybe 24 times. Okay, it's that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is the way.
Hey, I'm saying it is in the grand scheme of things my least favorite, but I've still seen it 24 plus times. It's
Right.
just it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's
also
still
my least
better.
favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
For answering that for me, Tommy. That was going to be a question I asked you.
Yeah, we had to
But,
get
I
that
mean,
out there too.
My standpoint
Nobody's
is,
ever said it.
Yeah.
I think my standpoint is I love all the Star Wars movies. I just love some more than others.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There you go.
It's all one big movie. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I always say, my favorite Star Wars movie is Star Wars. That's it.
Well, that's actually
I like that answer.
That's it. That's
when I saw Star Wars in the movie in the theater for the first time, it was just Star Wars. So
right.
That's
So,
a legit answer.
Literally just Star. Yeah, but no, but Star Wars.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
Scott Solo, where can we find you?
You know what? You can find me here on the Sarlacc Digest podcast. Also, we have recorded an episode of Nerd Tunes and Nerds with Attitude. So fresh from the dead, it's Halloween time. It's zombie world we're living in. So
right on.
Yeah, Nerds with Attitude is back for
Nerds with Annual. That's what it is.
I said welcome. Yeah, I said something along that line. We'll see you next October or something along those lines. But so we recorded it yesterday. It'll be up probably sometime this week, maybe. I don't know. I don't edit it.
There you go. At least you're doing it.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, The Art of Scott Solo.
Yes.
Put an underscore after each word. And follow me and you can see my artwork like this beauty here.
Yes.
This comic book that came out today.
Officially licensed, Lucasfilm licensed artists that we're staring at.
Oh my God, can you believe it?
And they're still available, right?
There are some still available. If you are, I don't know if all the coins are gone, but also a coin that I can't focus on that. It's a coin I designed. It's got the same artwork.
Scott, is Lineburgers going to be open tomorrow to go pick them up?
Yes, sir. But if you want me to autograph it, you got to go back onto comicbooksurplus.com and say, autograph it. It's free. I'll write all over it for you, Joey.
I know where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just drive
you do. You do. That's true. You're always welcome over.
I'll bring a pen.
Yeah.
I'll just meet you at Target.
Yeah, meet you at Target.
Meet me at Target.
Right on.
As we do.
Right on, Scott. Thank you, and congratulations on that once again. So yeah,
congratulations, dude. That's freaking rad.
Yeah, copies are still available. Go get them.
That's right.
Scott will autograph them. Awesome, Joey. Where can we find you?
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest. On Instagram at bootlegjoe_760. And I am very proud to be a part of this group.
Oh, thank you.
Just, I don't know. I'm just, for some reason, I was just sitting here soaking this in. And just when Scott brought out his comic book, I was like, wow, I'm really a part of this. And
nice.
The Star Wars community, especially what happened with Caleb and everything, the Star Wars community, it can bring people together.
Oh, yeah.
It can bring friends in your life that you're like, honestly, my past, Ernie knows my past. I mean, I hung around with some stupid people. And knowing that I can bring myself out of that and just be who I want to be and not worry about, oh, that guy's, he likes that nerd stuff, and it's like.
Wear it proud.
I'm comfortable with this. I feel like I'm at home with this. And I just want to let all you guys know, in this group, in the RLU, I'm proud to be a part of this.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm at home with this.
Well, you're with family, man. You're with family. So
we appreciate you, buddy.
Of course.
Thank you. I appreciate
like
all
I said,
you guys.
If anybody has any doubt on Star Wars fandom being split, go to a celebration, see how split they are.
Yeah.
So always had to get those digs in,
my first
right?
one this year.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Star Wars still has their own convention, whereas Marvel
they have to rely on a Comic-Con.
Right. Where is it? I don't know where it. I'll try to find one and post it. All right.
It's in New York where all their heroes are based.
Yeah, right.
Right? Where somehow they can't protect it.
That's why Dario's there with 12 other people.
Right. All right, Dart Dad, Mr. Hot Topic, what's up? Where can we find you?
Right there.
Right there, Hot
Topic. Hot Topic, you can message or post or comment there. You can message the Sarlacc Digest Instagram. I'll answer you there. Or Twitter. We're trying to grow our Twitter up. So if you want to message or tweet or tag in Twitter, I'll respond.
Ooh.
That doesn't count.
A hard PG-13 now.
Like if we were in England, that wouldn't count at all. It's like a normal name, right? So
someone's name.
Don't pull that.
Right, right.
That's it. Just give me on any of the socials, and that's it.
Awesome.
And Hot Topic, we'll do another. I'm still due. Every time we do one of these episodes, 2 weeks flies by and life happens.
I know,
right?
it does.
I've got a list of them, and I've got prep for all my pictures and my things just to edit. I got like 4 episodes in the works. So
which reminds me, I'm on Twitter now as well. Not Star Wars Savage, but Poodoo Squadron.
Oh, okay.
With Bro Axiom, so I forgot to plug that.
Yeah.
I just started it.
Cool.
You know what? Twitter I found to be a pretty chill place as long as you stay away from a few toxic hashtags or groups, right?
Yeah.
But everybody in there, especially the podcast groups, are really active and really really friendly in there.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Good. That's good. That's good to know.
I say that, and I said that about Instagram too. And about a year later, I was like, I hate Instagram.
I know, right? All right, and then last but not least, Bernie the Fallen Fett. Where can we find you?
Here with you guys and at Toy Migos, everything, toymigos.com, Toy Migos Facebook, everywhere, and on They're Not Dolls podcast.
Nice.
You just hit your 200th episode.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
200.
Congratulations.
That's awesome, dude.
Fantastic.
That's
Very,
awesome. I know that one podcast that I don't know if it's coming back or know what's going on, but it was the Podcasting Dead, and the premiere or the finale was last Sunday. And did you get to watch it?
Yeah, I had saw it about a week and a half ago.
Oh, did you?
I just couldn't spoil it for you at all. It was cool. Did you watch the new one too?
I did. I was actually surprised that the new one caught my attention.
Because everybody was wrong about what was being said. That it was the kids beforehand, and we're actually 10 years after.
Right.
Everything has happened.
I am guilty of this, and I said I'll give this show 10 minutes. I watched the whole thing.
And then you watched the whole thing.
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was intrigued. I like where it was going. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that even wants to watch it or whatever. It's
on my DVR.
Yeah, it's actually.
I would say give it a chance.
I heard this is what I heard. Now I don't know if this is rumor. They've only greenlit 2 seasons of this show because it's going to kind of correlate into or correspond into other things. It's not going to be like a huge 5-year, 10-year thing. It's like 2 seasons, cut and dry. I hope.
Help tie stuff in.
Yeah.
That couldn't. It was too long to tie another way.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense. I actually really liked it. I'm excited for it, and I love the finale of The Walking Dead. I think they put a bow on it real nice. They didn't, draw it out into this whole thing. I mean, they just kind of like really did the whole Rise of Skywalker, just cut and dry. Just
said what they had to do, and let's go do it, and then that was it.
And it wasn't. The finale wasn't bad.
It was.
If you read the comics, it's relatively. In a way, predictable. It's cool.
It ends kind of ends the same way. I mean, there's not that much you can do about it. We've seen bodies flying and explosions. I mean, how much more can you do? So this was good. It still had its moments, and I love Beta. And I thought Negan's character was awesome. I mean, I can't wait for. So season 11 is going to be. Oh, did you also hear that they actually can have 6 bonus episodes before season 11? That's going to tie in between the 2. So.
6 bonus episodes of what?
Well,
of the regular Walking Dead?
Yeah, the regular Walking Dead. Then it's going to go into season 11, right? So it's an extended season 10.
10.5?
Yeah, it's an extended season 10. That because season 11's it. That's going to be it.
What the hell else do they need to say?
And season 11, I heard, is going to have a huge time jump. So we'll see.
Well, knowing how the Walking Dead comic ends, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we're talking 50-year time jump.
What?
That's what
right.
Again, rumor, speculation, grain of salt. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. So that's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So yeah, awesome guys. All right, let's get out of here. Everybody, thank you very much, and I think
keep it nerdy, everybody.